They want us to think that we're an insignificant speck of dust, but let me tell you, we are so much more than dust in the wind.
At least 4 billion useless eaters will be eliminated by the year 2050.
I'm still waiting for somebody to show me gas pressure without a container.
I personally don't believe anything they say, right down to the God they claim they worship.
None of the math adds up.
You could stack up all their math books, all their science books, and even put all their degrees stacked up on top of that, and you still wouldn't be high enough to see the curvature.
This is exactly why grounding is so important.
We see too far.
We're just regular people who know we're being lied to. We're tired of it.
The bottom line is, there's only one choice left, and that's to dismantle this whole thing from the top down. Welcome to the Phone Booth Podcast. Please keep your arms and legs inside the phone booth at all times. We are not responsible for any lost or stolen souls, destroyed realities, or blown minds. I am Ted Theodore Logan, a.k.a. Ted's Ghost. I am here with Bill, Rufus, and Death. What's going on, dudes?
What up?
What up?
So
Glad to be here with
yes,
these awesome guests today, man.
especially tonight. So this has been a long time coming. So tonight we have Sacred and Proud with us. What is going on, guys?
Hey, party on. What's up to the gang? Level heads in the building.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys?
DJs right here.
Hashtag free
Hey,
Ted. What up,
Level.
Proud?
Stay level. What's up?
What's going on?
What's up,
Going
bro?
on?
Appreciate you guys having us, man. This is dope. Long time coming.
Honored to have you here, guys.
We are. I
We
have
feel like we're in the presence of celebrities right now.
Oh, stop it.
What?
This is top
That's
tier
how,
right here.
That's how we feel. Like I was
That's
talking to my
small.
wife.
I know, right?
I was talking to my
You know what's
wife
clearing?
before this. She's like, "Why do you seem nervous?" I was like, "I don't know. I wasn't even nervous on the Dave Weiss one, but I'm freaking nervous now. Now I'm cool, but before I'm a little bitch. I get nervous. Whatever." But yeah, so
Stepping up the level of intelligence here by
I know
many
that's
of
Yeah,
us.
these
See
guys
what you
are
did
talking
there. I
about
see
some
what you
stuff
did
we
there.
can't even comprehend.
I'm just gonna have to ask you to dumb it down a little bit so I can understand it. just act like you're talking to like your 4-year-old nephew, and we'll be all right.
Hey, man, listen. That's the reason why I felt like, going into spaces was a good place to kind of, operate in this topic, because you get to talk to so many different type of people on so many different type of levels. So, it was dope, because that's where I met you guys there. So, shout out to y'all for real.
Yeah, I had no clue it existed because I was new to Twitter, so was Bill, and I saw people hashtagging Flat Earth Friday, and honestly, at first, I didn't know it was about you. I was just like, oh shit, yeah, Flat Earth Friday. It's an alliteration.
Yeah.
I like it.
Hey,
And then I realized, I was like, oh, there's a space? Oh my God, it happens every week, and I was so excited. It's like there
And
are
then we're
Flat
like,
Earth Fridays and the Stationary Saturday.
Yeah. You go for a long time. Man,
How do you guys
I'm
do
old.
that?
I'm old. I'm like, do you sleep before? Well, that's
Bro.
right. You're a cyborg. I
We're
forgot.
cyborgs. Hello.
You charge
Yeah.
before.
Okay, so that's where I want to
Artificial
start with.
intelligence.
Where did this cyborg thing come from? Where does that, where did that start? Like, what's the concept behind it?
When were you built?
Okay, do you guys really want to know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so back when I wasn't organic, like the rest of you guys, I was into a lot of different conspiracies. Started doing a little bit too much digging, and then I don't know. I guess something happened, and I got kidnapped by NASA. Blacked out. I don't really remember too much.
Oh, I figured it was Elon.
Yeah, no, it was NASA. I believe so. Anyway, so when I went to go get uploaded into spaces, there was like a glitch when Elon actually took over,
Hmm.
and it was some type of corruption of the source code, and I got my memory back. And I said, oh, this is a lie. I got to tell everybody about this. So here I am.
Okay.
And we're
Wow,
all
man.
grateful for that. No, seriously, like I'm not even fronting. Like when we first came on Twitter, we've told the story before, but I'll go through it real quickly. Like, Bill and I thought there were no flat earthers on Twitter. We literally almost just deleted our accounts and were like, screw it. We're not going to make any headway here. We'll go back to Truth and switch our accounts. Like, seriously, that's how we thought. And that's when we came across Flat Earth Fridays, and I was like, holy shit, there are flat earthers here. You are the reason
everywhere,
we're
bro.
still on Twitter. No bullshit. That's the reason
shit,
we're
that's
still
what's
here.
up. That's dope, man. That's dope. Yeah, there's a lot of people that want to have this conversation, and I think that it was a transition when it went from just like text based into like voice based,
Yeah.
and then it just brought a whole new different crowd in, and you can meet anybody on Twitter, especially in Flat Earth Fridays. I mean, how many different type of people we talk to?
Yeah,
I mean, we talk to
physicists, CERN
right.
physicists,
I mean,
theoretical
particle physicists, nuclear physicists, astronomers, pilots, engineers,
Wood-headed
ship
globies.
navigators. Yeah, all them too. People that work for NASA. I mean, there's all different type of people. And then there's obviously the level heads and the people that know that all of that's a lot. So it's a nice crowd, and it's a great conversation when we get together every Friday.
It is. It's awesome. And I try to catch it every Friday. I do miss some. And then, like I said, I'm old, and I literally am falling asleep with my headphones in listening. And my wife's like, babe, you got to go to sleep. I'm like, all right.
It's because
We're playing around with the different times to start. Sometimes a little later, sometimes a little earlier. We went early last week.
Oh, I know. And then I missed the first like 20 minutes because it was early. So I can't win. But I try. It's awesome to listen into. I learn stuff every time I listen. I learn something new. It's amazing.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's like try to have a balance between having fun, because it's still Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. I still call it Twitter.
It's Twitter, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's never going to change.
And for those who don't know, you should know. We are 70 weeks running.
Yes.
This isn't just something
Insane,
for fun. This isn't just something we do on a whim. 70
Yeah,
Check the timestamp.
So when you guys started it, was it still typing? Was it still chat, like a type chat?
Yeah, we don't know when Spaces started, really.
Yeah,
and all that.
we've only been on Twitter
February.
since February.
So
Flat Earth Fridays actually started after our first debate, Flat Earth Globe Earth debate. I don't know, probably you want to get into some of the origins?
Yeah.
please do. I wasn't around for any of this.
Oh man, this was back in conspiracy spaces, man. We came from another platform that, well, we thought it was a community, but it turns out, some people just do this for clickbait and for money.
yeah.
So we used to go as hard over there, with this conversation, bringing the crowd, bringing the conversation up. But that fell apart. That wasn't gonna work. The host of that organization basically told us he didn't give a fuck about us. So we kind of learned quick that that wasn't gonna continue. But we branched off and we made it our own. In all honesty, this CEO and VP right here, we just took it and it became what it is now.
Yeah, feel me? Yeah, because we used to have these conversations all the time, and it was so polarizing. Like, some people would love to hear it. Some people like, oh, I'm so sick and tired of this. What does it mean? They just wasn't getting it. Then we had like the big debate. It was like a 4v4. I think it was probably like about two hours, but this was like earlier. Like, this was like probably end of May going into June last year.
Okay.
And obviously the truth came out. We did a poll, and the level heads definitely took the W.
Yeah.
And then people wanted to continue to hear this conversation. So he's like, hey, I mean, if you guys really want to talk about this, and since all of you trolls are in my mentions on a day-to-day basis, I'm pretty sure you guys know about it. I said, okay, let's give these guys a platform to speak, since you got so much time and energy on your hands, and so focused on a topic that you so much supposedly hate. Why don't you come talk about it? And you guys been in there.
Dude,
where they at, bro?
They spend more time on Flat Earth than I do. Like,
It's
literally.
crazy.
It's insane, dude. I don't know where they get the energy. I'm telling you, man.
They just keep going. But so have you ever thought about taking it over to a podcast?
I mean, people have been requesting it, because
I've
like,
seen it.
yeah, people say that they want to hear some like recordings. They kind of want to run these back.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are like, been talking about it for a couple of weeks. But a lot of times we really just want to make a comfortable environment for the globe earthers to come in and have a conversation, because you know what happens. They come to talking, some things go left. They don't really realize what they're speaking about.
Yeah.
And that may make them feel uncomfortable. But now, like, we have a little bit of like an audience that's kind of requesting some of these conversations because they're finding value, like you said, because, you know, I don't know everything. You know, people that come in to talk to us don't know everything. But when we share the ideas, people can kind of hear the conversation, and then they can develop their own ideas. So they find value in that. Like, okay, that was how that conversation went. I'll either lean this way or lean that way. And, you know, they want to be able to share that and hear that again. So me and Proud been talking about it. We'll see how that goes.
Awesome.
Well, dude, just keep it in your back pocket. You know, you have a lot of connections that you've built through the Flat Earth Fridays, and you could bring some pretty good guests on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
Yo,
We would love the
these
people to
Bring
come.
some-
zealots, they wake out of their sleep. They search flat Earth before they wipe the crust out of their eyes. They wake up and we are on their mind, in their dreams, in their nightmares. They
Rent
don't.
free.
For real.
It never fails, yo. It never fails.
For
Oh, my
I
real.
love that you said that, because it's a perfect segue into a question I have to ask, because you are both better people than I am. I don't know how you keep your composure so good when dealing with some of these people, and not only some of the things they say, but I'm sure it's like the 89th time you've heard the same exact thing, but you always come at it with such like couth. You're just like calm, and you tell them plainly, like,
You give them grace,
yes.
whatever that is.
Hats off to you guys. Jeez, I don't know
It's
how you
better
do
than-
it.
It's better than anybody else I've ever heard. I've never heard anybody stay this calm.
You heard my debate. You heard how that went. I literally threatened to stab the dude. So I'm just saying.
Hey, I want to get into that a little bit later too, because that was such a dope time that we had that night.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
But yeah, man, actually, I was listening to one of the podcasts that you guys had earlier, and it's kind of the same thing. I think Ted has said, like, you know, sometimes, you know, when you're having these conversations and you find one person that has an aha moment, then it just be like everything that you did up until that point kind of just was working,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
even if it's just one person that has an aha moment. So,
right.
you know, I always like to, you know, because we always talk about this. Nobody woke up and became a flat earther. Nobody really wanted to become a flat earther,
Oh.
you know, or globe skeptic or science critic, whatever label you want to put on it. But, you know, we were all taught to believe the same things. So, you know, that's difficult to deal with. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I just wanted to make sure that we created a platform where people can actually come talk about this.
I respect the shit out of that, man, because
Yeah, for
if I
sure.
ran one, it would go a little differently. I'm just saying. I'm not
Like the
proud of that.
Thunder Dome.
I'm not ashamed of it either. I'm just saying I'm built differently, and I respect you for that, because in all honesty, if it was me doing it, it wouldn't have the success that it has, because who wants to have someone come and be told they're stupid? Like, so it's much better the way you do it. But so
You know,
mentioned-
it becomes more of an echo chamber, you know.
yeah, exactly, it does.
That
That's
way.
the funniest argument to me, where the globe earthers say, hey, you running an echo chamber, but I'm not coming.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yo, it probably wouldn't be an echo chamber if you
If you
decided to
came.
show up.
I know. Like, I'm
It's so
literally
true.
willing to along those lines of the you'll never change your mind. You're just set in your ways, you stupid flat earther. Like, what are you talking about? We're the ones who uprooted everything. And like, I don't know how it is with your family, but my family knows I'm a flat earther. Not a
Yeah,
lot
and
of
it's
them
hard
like
to talk
it.
to them about it sometimes too. But yeah, it's just like we're the ones that actually had the, you know, the ego death to say, hey, we may have been wrong about this.
Mhm.
Maybe
Yeah.
there's a different way to look at it, you know.
Right.
And you know, if we're the ones that changed our mind, how are you gonna sit there and point the finger at us saying that we won't change our mind back to what you want us to believe?
I
That
know.
doesn't make any sense.
And all the stuff they tell us is the same stuff that we used to know. We
Mhm.
know what you're gonna tell us because we believed it. I mean, some of it is new to me because I was never like a space geek or anything. So
That's
before
the
this,
thing, you know.
yeah, Go ahead.
I mean, none of
Well-
us really even looked into it. We just kind of took it as fact that, you know, other people already figured it out, and we just went on with our lives.
Yep.
Because, you know, not everyone has time to just sit around and research what the earth is all day long. We got to pay our bills.
Exactly.
That's a fact. Bro,
That's
Proud
true.
plays like this dope playlist when we kick off Flat Earth Fridays, and then there's one song where it's like this guy's kind of like rapping back and forth against himself,
Oh,
like
man.
Flat Earth versus Globe Earth. So he's saying all the Globe Earthers like arguments against himself, just like Ted was saying, like we already know what you're gonna say. Let's make a song about it.
Yeah.
So you guys
So
actually know,
good.
like we could, like we've been hearing the same thing over and over and over. Like
Yep.
it's time to like be honest now, guys. Come on.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like the ODD video, the 21 questions or whatever. Like, we know what you think because we thought
Right.
it. Like, those are the questions we asked. I didn't want to be a flat earther, like you said. I'm very lucky, no homo, but that I had Bill around because I can't
Fact.
imagine waking up
It's
to
a
this.
little homo.
A little bit.
It's
A
a
little bit.
A little bit.
Okay.
It's all good though.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
all,
there was
it's
some
only
moments.
gay if you
Hey.
enjoy it, all right?
Oh, shit.
We were
New
not
rules.
enjoying
New
it.
rules.
We were not enjoying it together. We were going through
Okay.
the stages of grief. Like
Clarification is
nobody-
always good.
No, it was literally me going to my best friend hoping he would snap me out of it. Like, I wanted him to tell me something that proved me wrong because my world was upside down. I'm a critical thinker. I work on facts. I don't give a shit what the TV says. I don't care about any of that. I work on what I can see, touch myself. And when I was seeing this stuff, I was like, I cannot argue that. I need someone to prove me wrong. And then I went to Bill, and I'm pretty sure he felt the same thing.
He was breaking it down, and it was just like the most depressing. Like, how many times did we pull over that day? Like, I was like, pull over, dude. Pull over to the side of the road, man. I was like, I need a minute. I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm not even kidding, dude.
Yeah, no,
I
this
know,
isn't
man.
like for exaggeration, for comedic value. This is really how it happened. It was that. It was that because we thought we knew so much, and I'm sure you went through the same thing. So, like, how did you come across Flat Earth? Both of you.
Yes.
What brought you to Flat Earth?
Honestly, that was probably like the last kind of conspiracy I came across. And even when I think back to it, I think back to some of like the earliest pioneers, like, ODD TV
Mm-hmm.
and some of these earlier guys that were kind of putting out contact back then. It was like a whole new thing, just like you guys said. And it
What
was like,
year
it
was this
can't
for
be-
you?
This had to be. I can't even remember. That's probably what part of the memory that
Yeah.
NASA wiped out. Damn it!
Mhm.
But it was,
Probably like
it was definitely
2016,
earlier.
It has
Yeah.
to be
Yeah,
a bunch of
but-
years with how much you know. It has to be.
Mhm.
Well,
But
see, that's the thing. Getting into more of the sciences was kind of more recent because the internet became a lot more easier to get information. A lot more things were accessible.
yeah.
Mhm.
Obviously, I updated some of my cyborg capabilities as well.
Did you get a
so
better
that always helps.
processor?
Yeah, you got all the
Okay.
the Neuralinks and everything. You got to get the updates.
Good, good.
But no, seriously, like starting out back then, you're looking into some of these things. You're like, can this be possible? Can they pull this big of a psyop over your eyes? And then you say, well, no, this got to be easily debunkable.
Mhm.
But then you find out that there's really it's a lot harder to find exclusivity to certain points or whatever argument that you're trying to make for the globe Earth. If at best it works in both frames of reference,
Yeah.
whatever the argument is.
I know,
And most of the time, whatever they're talking about is pretty much like, just fallacious, placeholders for
Yeah.
fraction,
Just
gravity.
the fact
this, that.
that we're still able to even have this conversation and able to debate you should tell you something, because you
Exactly.
should have a 100% proof that shuts us all down, but you don't, because if you did, flat earth movement would be over. That would be it.
Yep.
So,
Instantly.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but just along with what you were saying.
No, that's exactly, and that's the whole point
Talking
of
about Flat Earth in 2023. You got to believe we're onto something. There's no
Right.
way we're still
Mhm.
going in circles. So facts.
Mhm.
People should pay attention to that alone.
Well, that's just because it's a government psyop. Don't you know that?
Oh.
That's, yeah,
That's sarcasm.
yeah,
the
obviously.
obvious.
Yeah, the psyop that
Anybody
was
with eyes
started
can see.
thousands of years ago. by the U.S. government that's 200 years old or whatever. All right, but anyway,
The math
sorry.
works. Math works.
Yeah,
It's all
it
math.
checks out.
So I was derived from the ether, sacred. He was able to grab it and formulate it into a physical form. So I am the most physical form of ether that you will be able to derive. And I am also human consciousness. So for me, I've always felt flat earth. Like I remember not even knowing, like I had no substantiated claims of flat earth. And I would jokingly say, like, you know, earth is flat. Like I've always known. But the one thing I feel like is in me is the fact that I've always felt the dome. Maybe it's where I'm from, maybe it's where I'm located in the ether, but I've always
Yeah, are you
there was a
a
dome.
physical sentient being, or do you just exist in the ether?
Oh,
Proud?
there is a physical form that I can plug into, but it doesn't last long. Its battery life is only like 12 hours.
This is high level ethereal physics, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
12 hours.
Hey man,
is
they'll figure out some battery life.
Yeah, talk
I
to
have
Elon. He's got you.
Elon
Just
works
don't let
on
him catch you on fire like all his cars do. But so
Well, we have Neuralink. Neuralink is a great feature that he's created. It works wonderful.
oh
I
yeah,
will say.
that's how they do it. They have someone put out some good stuff so they can also
Right.
put out lies about space.
Everybody loves chips, right?
Of course. Like
Oh,
like
yeah.
Doritos? No. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But so Proud, if you said you're part of the human consciousness, right?
Yeah.
So can
Connect
you tap into the Akashic records?
and find the true history of Earth.
Exactly, yes.
Correct.
That's part of the roadblocks that Sacred's still trying to knock down.
Get
Once they
on it,
realized they
Sacred.
they realized they had rogue agents or rogue conscious beings, you know, out in the world. So they had to implement some roadblocks. They had to terminate some of the information that we took in, but it's really hard to block off the entire internet. You can't hide things forever.
That's a
But they're
fact.
trying to. They're trying to get rid of all our history, everything that we've ever known,
Yes, they
and
are.
recreate it.
Yeah, that's my part-time job. Flat Earth Fry is like my full-time job.
Yeah, he does like a weekend long spaces, Ted. Give him a
Dude, I
break.
know.
A
Come
little
on.
bit, man.
How much cocaine is involved? No, I'm just kidding. Like I don't know how you go for that long. Is a lot of like I'm just not built that way. I don't know how many years has your cyborg been in service?
Oh, just since spaces started.
Oh,
That's
okay.
it.
So that's
Yeah, so
why
technically I'm like a year and a
you
half.
got so
if you
much
wanna be
energy.
technical.
You're a year and a half old. You got that
Yeah.
infant energy.
Right.
I'm
Terrible
Like 9
twos, man.
months in.
I'm
Terrible
41,
twos.
dude. My hips don't work. I can't go for that long. But
Well, you go for 8 hours and then you nap for 16 hours afterwards.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
you know.
I think the longest we did was what, bro? I was like 26 straight.
wow.
Damn.
Yeah, 26, 28.
Yeah, I think that was right after the flat anniversary that we had.
That's crazy. It's cool that you guys don't have to take bathroom breaks because you're not human beings. So you have that up on us for sure.
Yeah, it's self-cycling filtration. Yes, self-cycling.
Dude, maybe the astronauts are cyborgs too, and that's why they don't have to take a dump on the way back from the moon.
Must be. Must be.
Think you're onto something. Think you're onto something.
It's quality content. I love it.
Don't they have to drink their own urine?
Yep.
Don't they recycle their
Oh
own
my
urine?
God, I saw that video.
Or like
earlier,
Waterworld.
Yeah, exactly.
Waterworld.
There's an old I think it's Dana Carvey clip or something from when I was a kid. Like, you don't pee into a Mr. Coffee and get out Taster's Choice. Like they're
Hell no.
Exactly. I'm like, oh.
Dude, Manny Pacquiao swears by it.
Oh, I know.
There are people out there.
There is
you know.
what's his name? Allegedly Dave. He swears by it too. Drinking your own urine. He
Hey, I
swears.
did hear about urine therapy. I
Yeah,
heard there
exactly.
is some type of
I-
health benefit. So
I
I'm just gonna say you
can't-
gotta look into it.
I can't shoot it down. That's all I'm saying.
At what point are we getting it out of hand? Though?
I
Dude,
don't know.
I'm just thankful that my wife has a sane side to her brain, because I brought it up to her one time and she was like, "Oh hell no, no, you're not doing it. I'm not. None of us are doing that."
That's too woke. Too woke.
Yeah.
Got it.
A little bit.
So, what was the first thing for you? The very first thing that made you go, "Huh? Maybe the Earth is flat." The thing.
Bro, seeing too far.
That me too. Me too.
Bro,
Right?
that's just what it is. That was the first thing. I'm like, wait a minute. if I go over here and you tell me I'm not supposed to see this, and I go and look over here and I actually see it, that's a falsification.
Yep.
I don't care what you want to say. That is a falsification, period. I'm like, okay, wait. Let's go look into this. And then you hear like the Ari Dubays where they got the 200 proofs and stuff like that. And it's like, wow, there's this much out here?
Exactly.
Like, no way. I don't know if you guys seen that when you guys first got into it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
That was one of the first few. I just
First
can't remember
one,
the
too.
first one because it was an all-night extravaganza of watching video after video because my brain was like, does not compute. I have to fix this. And it just went all night long, video after video. And I'm like, oh, my God.
Flat Earth clues.
Yeah, that's a good one. There's a lot of good ones, man. There's a lot.
I think finding out that the theoretical dome that I feel every day is linked to the religion that was forced down my throat as a child
Yeah.
really is what showed me, like, hold on, there is some substantiation to this. Like, you're telling me my whole life flat Earth is on page 1 of this Bible and nobody said anything about it.
I know.
Right.
It really blew my mind.
That got me too. I was an atheist. And then I found flat Earth and I'm like, I've been doing this wrong my whole life.
Yeah, there might be something immaterial definitely out there. You know, we talk about that, how, science only acknowledges the things that you can materialize, things that they can, count physically. And if it's immaterial, they don't acknowledge it, which means that there's a whole spectrum of a reality that they may not even account for. And I think that's, that doesn't do the people any justice. I get the idea behind it, but who's to say that there isn't a whole nother framework that's creating our reality, or like a background medium of something that where everything is emanating from. So
yeah,
I think that's an important conversation to have.
I'm not even against like simulation theory as long as you're living in the same bounds I am, that it could be a simulation, but it's a physical simulation. Like we have antennas, maybe our brains that are connecting to our soul. I don't know. I just know that it's possible that there's a lot we don't understand, especially when the little bit that civilization used to understand is being hidden from us. So it's
Right.
like we're starting from a totally new slate and trying to figure it out on our own. It's very hard to do.
And just like Proud said, it'll be right in your face. And until you actually, start to be conscious of the idea, then you start to realize like, oh, wait, like, that actually does say this. And I kind of been thinking about this, but looking at it in a totally different way, because this is how I've been taught. I mean, they hang like the little Planeteer things over the baby crib when you're a baby. Like they start from that little, man. Like they don't play around with this side. It's crazy.
Oh, I got NASA PJs on the kids.
Hey, man, I loved all the old NASA stuff. What? I was a space freak. We all wish that was the real thing, right?
Of course.
And then over time, we were never going anywhere. It was really weird. We were going there illustratively, but
I literally remember being a kid and hearing about hotels on the moon by the year 2000, being like, "That's so cool! People will be on the moon." Where are they?
Right.
Where?
All the cartoons with the flying cars. Science has been stunning, and that's when we talk to some of the people that have credentials in the space, like they get a little offended when we talk about this. But I'm like, bro, like the physics literally has not gone anywhere. Like, imagine if we were looking at the science in a different way, where the technology could be, even with all the things that we have developed in 2023, all the technology that we have, we're starting to even have, virtual reality and augmented reality. But imagine if we looked at the science in a different technical aspect, we probably would have light years, pun intended, ahead of time when it comes to technology. Like we're probably literally stunted as a people because of this.
Because of the limitations that were set on us, right? Basically.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. And that technology is all it is like toys and stuff that are distracting. Super distracting.
That's the thing, man. Yeah, they took the technology and that we could have had, and instead of using it for good, they decided to use it for entertainment instead and distract everyone.
Proud has this like really dope analogy where it's like kids in a playpen, versus like, okay, maybe you might be trying to protect us from something, but you're still not giving us the truth, and you're putting us in like this mental pin for whatever reason. Now your intent will determine how we feel about it, but still something's being deceived clearly.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
That's why I think
Makes
it's
total
good
sense.
that you have Flat Earth Fridays and you're so open with people, is because we want some of these brains on our side, because a lot of these people are super critical. A lot of them just recite stuff they've heard, but some of these people I hear talk, like, they're intelligent people. They're just looking at it in the wrong way. They won't try to consider it from the other side.
They
Yeah.
can't. They're not programmed that way.
Yeah.
Like,
I
we
mean,
had to unprogram, dude, to be able to handle a lot of this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And like the way sacred you guys and proud you guys present it, sometimes it's overwhelming as hell. Like the way you've been able to ride that fence and, you know, do the tons of research that they would want you to do when you debate them. You know, it's like, but they're not going to go the other way. So all you're doing is, yes, you're saying, okay, you say this and you say that, but we say this and we're wrong. You know what I mean? Like the way you present
Right.
it is perfect, you know, and it's like they get frustrated, but they can't really down you for not doing the work, you know. Like Ted and I and these guys, at least speaking from mine, I'm done, dude. You know what I mean? I'm so over it. I've been battling this shit.
No, don't give up.
No, I mean like doing these debates with these guys and hearing the same thing over and over again. They're all like, "Oh, you don't ever say nothing. All you do is drop content and walk away and say something smart ass and this and that." It's like, dude,
So
I already
easy.
know where we're going, bro. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like it's a broken record for me. I don't have the patience. I got bills and shit, you know? Like there's things
Bills?
going on, bro. Yeah.
Oh.
But like that's what you guys do. I'm like, damn, it's so impressive. It's so well put together. And it just I gotta commend you guys on that. I wanted to say that. Sorry to go on a tangent, but like it's just
And that's a big vote. Yes, for recording your content, because
yes, we could go back and learn from
oh
it.
yeah,
you know.
dude. There's so many times where I'm like, oh, I wish my buddy could listen to this right now. I need him
Yes.
to hear this from this guy, because nobody else is gonna put it like he's putting it, and it's perfect.
And best believe we have content queued up. If it was up to me, I would drop it anyway. But, I gotta
Oh,
wait for
yeah.
Cyborg #1 to give me the okay.
Dot,
But I would be
dot,
on
dot,
some
dot, dot.
verse type. I would drop it when I feel like it.
I feel that. I even go with sometimes before I post something, I'll send it to Bill. I'm like, is this too much, man? Can you tell me? Clearly it didn't work, Bill. Thanks. Thanks.
Yeah, you said
Damn
the
it, Bill.
wrong guy. Said the wrong guy. I make it worse. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, add this in this.
Yeah,
He's
no,
like,
but
really?
what
Like-
happened is they didn't get, because I learned a little bit ago when I got suspended for abusive behavior to just tone it down a little bit. Like, whatever, screw them. I'll focus on other people. But they found a loophole, and they went through every video I've had posted months ago that I put a song on. And
Bro, this is exactly what we thought. Proud was just saying this the other day.
yeah.
Mhm.
Proud was just saying, oh, they must be going through his whole
They're going way back.
timeline.
Yeah, because I'm getting things from notifications from something I posted in July, June, going way back for a song I put in a video that was no problem before, but they're reporting me on copyright infringement. And it literally says in the email, a user report on copyright. So I know that's what they're doing. There's no two ways about it.
Wow.
Mhm.
So they can't.
They're
get-
straight up bragging about it in the chat too.
Yeah,
I
I know.
mean,
I've
it's
seen the
just-
little clips floating
it's
around.
despicable.
Mhm. A certain somebody that was supposed to get cut but never did.
Yeah. No. So yeah,
But dun, dun, dun.
the conspiracy smasher. I don't even like saying his name, but that was
Don't
a
say
fun
his
debate.
name.
I mean, you really destroyed him, man. So it's probably why. You know, I don't know why he's on your head like that, because he don't be acting like that over in Flat Earth Fridays on the mic. So I told him he got to chill out of the timeline if he's not going to keep it the same energy.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Oh, he's got tough thumbs for sure. Like
I
that's
just-
definitely him.
I
He's
seem
tough
to
on the
bring
type.
something out in them. I don't know what it is. I'm so polite. What's the problem?
We
Bro,
definitely had this thing going in. We weren't gonna be like nice about it because the nice thing wasn't working. We were watching these guys getting pummeled, right? and they're like, damn, everybody's just dicks, like, and we could be dicks and we're really good at it. So maybe we're just gonna fight fire with fire, and then that's really what our thing was. So we spent so much time getting in their heads and getting them all riled up, and everybody was like, damn, they were vibing with that, you know what I mean? Like, these dudes are crazy, So I wish I would have spent a lot more time on the book aspect of it, you know what I mean, and getting the facts straight and all that. But that's where you guys sit, and that's definitely where you guys shine at, and it's pretty awesome, man. No
They're
doubt.
definitely follower watching. They are follower watching, engagement counting. And they won't ever admit it, but it's a popularity contest to them. And when they see flat earthers doing better than them, mind you, some of these guys have been at this shit for 10 years, yo. 10.
Yeah.
When I first started, I
Literally.
was like 30 days into flat earth, arguing with niggas who've been up here for 7 years, arguing their whole life savings away for the flat earth. And it's like, damn, like I've been here for 3 days. I don't know nothing. Like, what's up? And they're just, oh,
Crowd had no idea who any of them was at, and all of them like, "What's up? What's up? Earth is flat. What's going on?" Like,
I'm talking the most toxic globe zealots. I'm in a thread just typing away. You guys won't pull up. And I promise you guys, we haven't heard a day of silence on Twitter since. So it is my fault. I definitely threw us into the wolves with that whole thread. It was like 48 of them in there.
That's
but we was looking for them though. We want to talk to them. They sitting there always harassing and doing all this extra stuff. It's like, okay, we're gonna pull up a platform for you guys to come talk. Now show up. That's all you got to do is show up.
They
Just
don't
show
like
up.
talking though. They don't like talking that much.
Never.
I'm like, I know you won't go into Flat Earth Fridays. I know you won't.
And there are a few that do. There are a few that do that
There
do
are.
kind of come back around sometimes. So shout out to them. But yeah, it takes a globe earther to actually show up and actually shut Flat Earth Fridays down. And like Proud said, it's 70 weeks straight.
Yeah, and nobody's done it yet.
We're still here. Just saying.
That's kind of the reason why, like, some of us choose to just stay quiet and listen. You know what I mean? We're not gonna get, as soon as if you turn our mic on and that thing, some things might come out and the whole situation's gonna change. You know what I mean? Like,
well, we want you guys to come talk more often, man. We be looking for you guys in a listener session down
I'm in there and I'm listening, I'm doing my thing, and I'm all about it. But man, there's some things like,
I'm not
like, that's gonna set me off. I'm gonna make that shit R-rated in about 2 minutes.
Hey man, we like to have fun too, because at the end of the day, it is still Twitter. You know what I'm saying? We try to make it like a little bit of a healthy balance, but entertainment, having fun, because it is Friday night. For people to actually take time out to come chill and hang out and listen to what we're talking about on Friday, like, I just appreciate it. So
you're a wealth of knowledge, though, dude.
Oh yeah.
So like, it's like I want to hear it. Try to retain as much as I possibly can. I
appreciate that, man.
So
and I learn from everybody that come in too.
Only the cool kids come out and hang out on Twitter on Friday nights.
You feel me?
I'm never doing shit on Friday night. I'm so tired. I'm like, let's go pick up dinner and listen to Flat Earth Fridays till I pass out.
Yeah, that's a vibe too, bro. That's a vibe.
Yep.
I like it.
That's how it is, dude. But that's this whole thing. Like, people try to attack us at like, oh, you're shilling, you're doing that. Like, this is who I am. I'm just a regular dude that works a job and came across some information and wanted to share it with people. I'm not lying. If I'm wrong about something, I'm not lying. I'm wrong about it. There's a huge difference. So this is who we are.
It's like Proud said, though. I mean, you're rattling the cages of some dudes that have been in there a decade. You know what I mean? Trying to just sell us on the same crap we've been sold on since day one and keep us in the framework, and we're so far beyond that we just don't have the patience anymore. Like, shut your dumb ass up, dude. Like, and then, you know what I mean? Like, and then, it might come across a little, So,
and on the top of that, like, you're reaching way more people. So then that also makes the mags. It's just like, oh, like, now they get to talk their shit and make me look stupid in front of all their audience. Let's get them out of here.
Proud, did you have something you wanted to share? Proud?
She's muted.
Yeah, I was gonna throw up the TED conspiracy debate. Some of the content we posted on Twitter.
Oh, I'll add it to the
Yes.
stage.
Well, we would love to see that.
There we go. All right. I think you got to play it from your end. I'm slow. Don't worry about it.
Oh, let's go. So this was our review space.
Yeah, I
for
got
that.
you guys. My computer's so laggy.
It's Sacred sucking up all the bandwidth. He's a cyborg, remember?
Bro, I told you to switch over to the etheric network. Get off of gravitationalwave.org.
Oh, I can't wait.
And
Man,
dude,
Sacred loves this question, and I'm going to ask everybody all the time. Which gravity do you... My man Sacred loves this question, and I'm going to ask everybody all the time. Which gravity do you subscribe to?
Well, all of them.
You can't have all
Are
of
you-
them.
Are you?
They are mutual.
What?
They are mutually exclusive. You can't have. Sacred, you want to take this? Rocking it out.
Yes.
We've been through this. Try to keep up.
It's the Grim Reaper, dude.
Okay, so what?
Yeah,
Gravity is an assumption
absolutely.
now?
Gravity is an assumption. If you don't know that, then you're in the wrong place, man.
I'm such an
Okay.
asshole.
That's why there's two excuses for how it works.
Because-
That's why there's Newtonian and
because-
Einsteinian, and
Well, there's-
that's getting ready to go out.
There's three.
Of
But
course, you guys need
There's
three.
three.
Of course, you do. I love how you say that, thinking
The three-
that makes me look dumb. There's three
there's
explanations for
three, but
gravity.
they use the. And they
I'm
all
sure
use the
they
same
do,
formula.
and but that should tell you something. Why do they
But-
need three if it's the same formula? Because you're plugging in different bullshit to make the story work. Fucking people, I swear to God, and you think you're the intelligent one. So explain, how did the plumb bob magically suck to the mountain?
Okay, so he did a hypothesis.
Okay,
based
so
off
he
of-
assumed something else. Go ahead.
Yes, that's what
I know.
that's
So
what
we're at
experiment
three.
is.
I just want to keep
Have-
track. We're at
have
three assumptions now.
have-
Keep going.
Okay, we will get to your experiment.
Oh, I'm sure we will. Dude, you call yourself conspiracy smasher and you believe everything off government websites.
Hold on. Another entry in the bingo sheet.
What the fuck is bingo?
Oh my god.
Shout out to Ted, man.
Oh, man.
my god, that's
I forgot. I
I-
forgot how good that was.
Dude, so the
I,
fun.
for-
Go ahead. Sorry.
I forgot how funny "What the fuck is bingo?" is.
I didn't think anybody got that because no one laughed at the time.
That made me laugh so hard at the time.
I don't think we could laugh because our jaws were unhinged. So it's like,
I
oh my
was
god,
crying, bro.
it was,
I'm such
it
an
was
asshole.
it was
Dude,
it was
I'm
good.
not always like that. Just something about that dude brought it out in me. It was like if you soaked a middle school science book and then squeezed the water out. That's what was coming out of his mouth. That's all it was. I'm like, come on, man. I know everything you're saying, but yeah, it was a good time. And
And what's funny about that story too? My bad. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, any Globies listening in the future, I won't always be like that. If you want to have a discussion, that's all I'm saying.
yeah, dude, you were so good, and it was obvious that you knew what you were talking about, but you ad hommed that dude to fucking hell in that debate.
Whatever. It
Well,
worked.
And he threatened
deserved
it.
also.
So sorry, what were you saying, Sacred?
Oh, yeah. So I was gonna say, and that's kind of so that moment there, right? Because we're all up on panel with you. While you know, just crushing conspiracy smasher. We call him Connie in the streets. Going, what's up, Connie? So right, so you guys up there like just going back and forth, and then you hit me with when you started going into the gravity stuff. You said, "Sacred, you want to take this?" That, and from that moment, because that was like the funniest thing, because you were doing so well, I didn't know what to do. I'm like, bro, if I jump in on the mic, they're gonna say I'm dogpiling.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah.
that is like
Right.
killing them right now. So I like froze for a second, and I looked at anybody else, and then you guys just kept on going. And I just started laughing. It's crazy. So then we took that clip, and now we use that for our Flat
I
Earth
love
Fridays
it.
intros because it's
so
dope,
great.
bro. It's such a cool sound clip.
funny to hear it from a different perspective, because from my perspective, honestly, when I said that and you bowed out, I was like, oh shit, man, I fucked up. I shouldn't have asked him, because it makes it look like I can't handle it myself. So
And you were killing them, bro. You heard all of it. Like, look at how like yeah, but it's so funny.
I was pacing around my house on my cell phone with earphones in, walking the whole time because that's when I'm on the phone, I pace. So that's how it felt to me. I was literally, I'm sure I drove my wife crazy, but I was pacing back and forth, and she's hearing some of the shit I'm saying. And when I said, I'm going to fucking stab you one day, I look at her face and she's, oh, sorry. It's a bad representation of our family. I'm sorry.
It's just how we talk to
JK.
each other, though. We've always been like that.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
That's
Way
literally
over
how
the
we
top,
speak to each
way
other.
over the
so.
top.
JK, LOL.
Yeah.
Not that bad.
So yeah, that video was awesome. So what we already talked about what got you on it, but like so if you before you were a flat earther, what was the one thing in your head that you were like, that proves the globe? I don't even need to think about it.
You there?
He said, "Let me think." I didn't need to think about it then, but I need to think about it now.
Is there something that I would have immediately assumed? I think everybody, automatically refers to the space, like the other planets, and their first initial, well, what about the other planets? Like, well, I don't think I could honestly say I had undeniable globe proof. Like, I think the average person, if I walk down Fort Lauderdale Beach right now and ask the random person what heliocentric means, they're gonna be looking at me crazy like I'm offering them drugs. Like,
Where?
the average everyday person doesn't know shit about the heliocentric model unless you care about this conversation. So
Just
I don't think I
curious,
had like
what
immediate
made you
proof.
choose Fort Lauderdale Beach to say?
Oh, that's near my beacon.
Oh.
One of my ether beacons.
That's crazy. We'll talk about it later. But so yeah, no, I agree. There wasn't like I just assumed it was. There was none of this like, oh, it just is a globe. Clearly there's pictures of Earth, there's pictures of everything. So but Sacred's back. Good. He dropped out.
I mean,
Can
I
you see
just
my
feel like
screen?
we're
You're
pretty
muted.
lucky.
Just so you know, Sacred, you're muted. There he is.
My bad, guys. My bad.
Yeah.
Elon trying to take me out again.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I know. It's a constant thing. Even when we're not on Twitter, it's a constant thing.
Whiz.
But yeah,
That's
dude,
the
I mean,
level.
I feel like we were just kind of all appeal to authority and just apathetic to the fact. And I feel blessed and lucky, and I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I got to live about half my life where I didn't feel like the government was just out to get us and telling us a bunch of bullshit, so half my life I got to fully enjoy.
Ignorance is bliss.
That's
Yes.
right. It's a good point. It's a good point.
Rose-colored glasses.
Yes, 100%.
Proud. The way you describe that though, Proud, it vibes with me too, because I'll be honest, I looked at the photograph of Earth, or so I thought, and I was like, oh, there it is. That was from space, and that's what it was. I never took into account why are there no stars. I never took into account that could be a composite image, even though it was kind of explained to me. It was like, oh, well, that makes sense because of the transmission. You know what I mean? The time it takes from the signal to go from the satellite to NASA and then them to put it all together and all this. But then it's like, whoa, stop! Wait a minute. Nixon called them on a landline.
If I had watched that in real time, I would have denied it from dawn
Right?
to dusk.
I know there was so many more people back then that were like, okay, no way.
Yeah, but at that point, everyone trusted their government. There was
I
this
know.
American movement, Merca. We're behind it 100%.
The unification moment, right? The unification moment, and everybody's watching it on television and all
and
this.
I'm sure that's why it happened in that period.
Right. Remember, guys, because they was giving us Star Trek and Star Wars at the time. It was like, well, if that looks like that, and we're not there yet by 2020, we should be there, right? And now they're seeing this bullshit on the TV, and they're thinking that it's real because it looks so fake. Right?
I know.
Exactly. I love how there's literally video of the Tesla on a thing with green screens around it, and people can't understand why that would even exist. Explain why that exists. They clearly faked the Tesla going into space. You see everything. Like the images from the Tesla show a full curve of the globe, but images from the ISS don't, and supposedly the ISS is further away than the Tesla was. So
You're not supposed to think that hard. Stop it.
Sorry.
Respecting the algorithm, Ted.
Sorry. So, Sacred, when you dropped out, I had asked, you didn't hear it because you weren't here. So, before, I know you said seeing too far was the first thing that made you consider flat Earth. But before that, if you even thought about it, what was the one thing in your mind that you were like, this obviously proves the globe? There's no denying it.
One thing that I thought that obviously it was really just pictures.
Yeah.
I really thought that the
Okay.
pictures was it. I'm like, if they're giving us pictures, why would they go to this length? Until you realize that they're saying, well, they're not really pictures, they're kind of just image composites that we gotta stitch together, and Photoshop is a great program. I'm like, wait, what? Wait, hold on.
Photoshop.
Dude, wait. Nah. Can't do
NASA has given us everything, right down to what is it? MREs, right?
Yeah.
Like,
And Velcro. Don't forget
Yeah.
Velcro. All right.
Velcro's the best thing they ever
Where
did.
would our life be without Velcro?
And
suspension
then they take
cable.
all of our helium.
I know.
Yeah, it's true too. All this stuff's coming out, and then people just brush it aside, like, they need it.
They
We don't.
rationalize.
They're
Yeah.
astronauts. Right? Yeah.
They
they're
like to
astronauts,
talk
we're
in
not.
funny voices. That's clearly what it is.
Bro, that's the other thing too. When you have these conversations with some of these like SciComm embodiment, this is who I am as a person, individuals, and you watch the gymnastics, the mental gymnastics that they jump through to rationalize things. Like, it's crazy, man. Like it's almost like once you realize that two people can look at the same thing and yet describe it in two different ways. Oh, there's curvature there, it's just refraction. Or, hey, isn't that just flat plane? Like,
Right.
we're looking at the exact same thing. Like, how can we have such a different perspective in what's going on here?
Mental
And it's just,
programming.
You have a
yeah.
theory on that?
Well, me and Proud was kind of talking about this earlier. I think it has to do with the psychology. Like, they say that we're the ones that are crazy, but like I said, a lot of people just, like, this is who they are. Like, they don't have personalities. This is the other reason why they hate you guys, because y'all got personalities. Like, probably the reason why they hate me too. They don't like the way I do my thing, but it's just like, this is who I am. You know, I just articulate it in a specific way that hopefully is digestible to people. But, you know, some of these guys don't got that. They don't have personalities. They don't have nothing else but books, and which is cool. I'm not saying don't read. You know, they're banking on you not to look at the details. But if that's who you are as a person, and I'm taking that away from you, and you spent years making this who you are, you needed to be at the top of your class. If you're not, then you don't have a personality.
Yeah.
Then who are you? What's your purpose? Then it goes into, what am I here for? It's okay that I'm just random and it was an explosion from nothingness, because I don't have anything to really live for other than what they've been teaching me and getting it right.
Yep.
So I think it really goes into a deep psychological, emotional attachment to balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, you know what?
Hey.
That's the long and short of it.
Nicely done.
Good point. You know, that's the thing. The globies that are real hardcore on Twitter and you know, the platforms that we're on, it's such a small sample size, because these guys have obviously based their whole life around physics and you know, studying science. And if they were to find out or accept the fact that basically everything that they were told is a fallacy, then that just, you know, eats at the moral fiber of their being.
Yeah.
Right.
And I found a lot of success in the real world and talking to real people who don't have a science background. And you just start off by, you know, breaking down the globe and asking them, you know, what do you think it is that is your 100% proof that the Earth is a globe?
Most
you
of
know,
the time
only
they
thing
don't have an
can say-
answer.
Yeah,
actually.
or that boats go over the curve. That's the one of the main ones I
Oh.
get. And then you start asking them more questions about their model that they're blindly defending, and it's obvious that they really don't know anything about it. And then, you know, it maybe starts to open their eyes that, like, this dude who's talking to me about the globe and saying it's not a real globe knows more about the globe that defending than I even know.
Yeah.
Facts. Always
Right.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, maybe there is something to what he's saying. And then, you know, that will light a spark and get them to at least start looking into things. And if you notice, you know, a lot of people are saying things about like, oh man, you know, what happened to the moon, or the moon's doing weird things. It's like, no, the moon is doing the same shit it's always been. You're just actually took the time to look up now.
Yeah.
Right.
I
And
never
you
looked at the
are
sky.
noticing that the moon does things that you maybe don't understand. And that's a good thing.
Yeah, I never looked at the
Right.
sky as much as I do now that I'm a flat earther.
Right.
When I was a globe earther, I didn't care about the sky and the stars, and now that I'm a flat earther, I'm like, those are here for us. I'm gonna pay attention.
Right.
They're
So
here
cool,
for
man.
us.
And they're still there, the same ones. Everyone.
That's
Great
how deep the indoctrination is. Like when I go to talk to, I have one buddy that he's not a globey. He's like a fully like ingrained in the system, just normal dude,
Yeah.
right? But he's really smart. And me and him have good conversations. But like when I brought this up finally to him, I've been massaging him for a long time.
Oh yeah.
And I finally brought it up to him, and he was like, dude, you're talking about like 1 + 1 = 2 is not correct if the
That's-
earth is flat. And I'm like,
Oh.
oh man, dude, that's tough. Like, that's just stuff you're putting on top of it, you know?
It's all about applied mathematics, right?
Right?
Because one single family house, and one multifamily equals 3 homes. So it's all about how you apply that math. 1 +
Right.
1 can equal whatever you want it to equal.
Yep.
Math is just a description, just not an explanation.
See,
That's
like
a lot
a
of
guy
people
like
do
that,
that.
a guy like that, I would. That's not even a debate right there. That's like, all right, you go check out some links, man, and let me know what you think.
No,
Yeah.
no, yeah, like he's that's what I'm saying. Like he's not
Yeah.
a globey. He's not even there. Like I
Right.
barely got him. I just brought it to him, and he was like, "Oh, this is super fascinating because it's the easiest conspiracy to debunk." And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
8 years later,
Go
here
for
I
it.
am.
Go for
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. I
Right.
would love for you to. Then I can go back to being normal, but it's not gonna happen. You can't even talk to average people. I try, but you can't even talk to average people about this. There's still
this is the project. Like it's like I don't think that this is going to go anywhere, but I'm trying to do it like the easiest, like the most, you know, just trying to take my time with it. No, nothing.
So do Sacred and Proud, do your families know? Are you out to like people in your life? Like, I mean, whoever interacts with your cyborg, I don't know how that works. I'm not sure. I'm unfamiliar.
Some people do. So a lot of the people that I used to talk to about it, like completely like just disregarded me, don't talk to me anymore.
Yeah.
Like I had a lot of fallouts and relationship wise over just asking questions. And I don't think that's a problem, just asking questions.
No,
I
absolutely
think when
not.
people have when people have problem like answering them or coming up with a coherent thought about what I'm asking, it becomes challenging. And you know, next thing come ad homs and crazy and all this extra stuff. So you know, it's not a fun thing sometimes, you know, having a conversation, but
Yeah.
I think it's important because you know somebody's gonna get it. Somebody who's supposed to get it's gonna get it anyway.
Dude, I was amazed so I went over to my sister's house for game night, and my mom and my sister were there, and her husband and their kids, and I was like, I need to talk to you guys about something. Can you send the kids to the room? And I had this whole presentation planned out. I was gonna drop this on them. It was like, this is the day of reckoning. Are you ready? Your life's about to change. And I started, and like 30 seconds in, my sister was like, well, yeah, I mean, the Bible says it's flat, so I can't argue that. Like,
No, that's what's up. Okay.
I was like, what about my presentation? What am I supposed to do with that now? And my mom
all
just
lined
like I won't say she defers to me, but she'll take something I tell her and try to prove it wrong, and if she can't, then okay. She agrees with me. So I had it pretty lucky. I don't know how it is for other people, but
I mean, at least she had the right approach right? We just want people to start thinking about it. That's all.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Most of my immediate family, I wouldn't say like they initially cared that much, but there are some that were just like, nah, I can't even associate with the flat earther.
Yeah.
Like, damn, bro, you love the globe that
Wow.
much? Like,
I
come
tell
on.
any and everyone, anyone who will listen, and especially those who won't listen.
Mhm.
Really?
Oh yeah.
You're all buying groceries or getting an upgrade, and you're like, hey, you know the Earth is flat, right? just tell everybody. That's how you do it.
There is no curvature.
I wear
Dude,
flat
honest-
Earth shirts everywhere. So and I would
Same.
I thought that it would spark a lot of conversations, but it really doesn't. It really doesn't.
They're
You
just
get like
backing
a
away
couple
from
head
you.
nods every once in a
Like,
while,
oh,
dude.
there's
Like,
one.
I know. I
They're
know.
like, yeah,
go ahead,
we
man."
have a table for you in the back over there.
Yeah, side eyes.
Hiding their kids and shit.
All I gotta say is, never take for granted the ability of a seed to grow, and after you water it. Sometimes you just gotta mention it a little bit, and honestly, your loved ones and close ones are gonna think you're crazy, but they're gonna think you're a lot less crazy if you just kind of put it there and drop it, and then move on with your life, and then maybe they'll either, if they're curious, maybe they'll come back to you at some point, and I had my brother who just thought I was a complete maniac for a while, man. And then finally, when he was ready, that's the thing. People need to come across this on their own. They don't want to
point.
feel like they're forced into this and like they're forced into a cult or something like that. They want to be able to feel like they discovered it by themselves. And, maybe then they'll come back and start asking you questions. But I've had my brother will start coming to me and bringing me stuff that, dude, did you know this? And it's like, dude, I showed you that like a year ago, and he's called me an idiot.
Yeah,
Just,
exactly.
just scroll up, bro. Just scroll up, bro.
Exactly.
So, and that's obvious evidence right there that people just, they'll block out what you even said just so they can feel like they discovered it themselves.
Yeah.
What was that, Death?
They can't hear it.
That's true.
Like,
gotta
if
be
they-
open to
like,
it.
there's a lot of people who just like, you can show them a picture and they're like, I don't know what I'm looking at.
Yeah. I know. It's
You know?
crazy. It's kind of crazy.
But if they saw it on television,
Yeah, if Don Lemon told them about it, then-
With the words going across the screen.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Yeah, speaking of which, man,
Didn't Don Lemon confirm the ball at that bar when he grabbed that dude? Pretty
Oh,
sure.
oh.
Don Lemon loves the balls. I can tell you that right now.
Clearly. So,
I mean, can we just talk about?
Yo, we
how
got Neil
far-
deGrasse Tyson
Oh, he's the best.
admitting, like,
It's
not being
flat.
able to see curvature from a certain height. Like, if that's not enough, if an astrophysicist telling these people, like, hey, you're not seeing curvature at this height, so that
They've
means
already
they're
wrote
not
'em
seeing
off.
curvature at that height. Like,
That's
you would
it.
think that'd be enough.
Dude,
They've already
Felix
wrote 'em off. You see that,
Baumgartner,
right?
that dude still claims that there was curvature.
Well, he's a
I'm not-
Freemason, Rufus.
What?
Of course he does.
From where he jumped
Spreading
at, he still
Freemason
claims that. So you got
information.
two experts here
have you ever seen his
completely
helmet?
contradicting each other.
Have you ever seen the helmet he wore with the
Oh,
curved
he wears a
lens?
helmet, all right.
That too. But also, if you're like, I know people who literally swear to me that they've seen the curve from a plane.
Well, I've said that too, dude. I know I've said that.
Yeah.
Dude, my best friend claims that he's seen it from a mountain. He's like, dude, I've seen it. Like,
Damn.
from a mountain.
No way.
I swear to
No
God,
way.
dude.
They-
He won't
they-
even talk to me about it because he's like, I know I've seen it.
This goes back to this. This goes back to the psychosis, like psychosis. Man.
Yep.
You know what I mean, like they're fully in, dude. You know,
And it's
They're
just the
living-
details too that they don't pay attention to.
right?
It's like the windows could be curved. Like, come on, guys.
Mhm.
It's tiny stuff like that.
The television screen is curved.
Yeah. Not only
Well, it
that,
used to
but think of it this way. Like, okay, we know you can only see so far in one direction, correct? So let's pretend that's a rope to the distance you can see. Now, if you take that rope and rotate it around, your reach of view is going to have a curve to it. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
that's
Does that make
spherical
sense?
view.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So if you can only see so far in each direction, when you turn left or turn right, When you're looking straight, it's straight in front of you, but as you turn, that's going to be a curve because you can only see so far in every direction. So a lot of people confuse that as the curve also. Doesn't
And
work
then I
like
hate
that in
when
videos, but yeah.
And then I hate when they say like, "Well, how come I can't see China from my couch, sacred? I should be able to see China from my living room kitchen or whatever." Like, what, bro?
You hate that? I love that. That's
What I love to do is I tell them, I say, you're probably on an iPhone right now. Scroll up, type in weather app, scroll down, and where it tells you visibility and it says 12 miles, that's why you can't see the Eiffel Tower. That's why you can't see the Statue of Liberty, because the I don't even know what to call it. I don't want to say atmosphere, but the atmosphere is
Atmosphere, that's cool.
It becomes opaque at a distance, just like when you're in a giant pool. If you look underwater, you can see perfectly right in front of you, but far away you can't see anymore. That's what happens. There's moisture in the air. That's how it works. It's very simple. And for you to come at me with your college knowledge and not understand that,
You made a rhyme.
you're not being genuine at that point, because you have to at least admit that happens.
Yeah, it's all about honesty within the sciences, bro. Because if it's coming from a dishonest place, no matter what the argument is, you're never gonna get to the truth, and then it becomes bias. So at what point do we say, okay, what's the truth? What's bias? Who chose that we're supposed to go in this direction?
Right.
When it comes to understanding observational studies or experimentations, like who said, like, the universe was expanding and not the luminaries oscillating? Like, why were these decisions made to keep this ball and this earth ball in motion? Some of these things need to be discussed so that way we can stop being misled, man. It's crazy.
It's true, and it's constantly changing. They're evolving it and warping the shape of it to fit the narrative,
And then be mad at us. It's like, bro, you gotta change your model every week. It's something different.
It's serious.
Well, that's science, bro.
No, that's horse shit.
Pretty much.
Give me your flat Earth whole model understood right now, or you're stupid.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mind you, none of the people triggered have put out peer review paper. None of the people triggered have a Nobel Prize. They're just triggered by their balls, like Tigger said. Like they didn't do anything to contribute to the science. They just parrot it, and then they're offended by us questioning it.
Yeah.
Right.
I always love to go to their page and check if they ever post anything on their own. And it's usually only retweeting stuff. So if you're so smart about the globe and you know it all, start putting out content that proves me wrong, and we'll go head to head and see. Like, just all you're doing is arguing what we all already know. That's all you're doing.
Bro, they didn't get their updates. Remember, they're bots. This is why it was so like crazy when Elon brought this, all the mics onto Twitter, because now they can't just thumb their keyboards all damn day. Right. And if they do, it's like, bro, at least put up something where we can actually have a back and forth. Yeah. Otherwise, stop just trolling.
Exactly.
So it's like, bro, come on.
I mean, the mental gymnastics that these guys have to go through. Dude, I mean, honestly, like, this is for people on the fence here. It's like, if you just think about it, they say that we can't feel the spin or the oceans aren't affected because of the centrifugal force and, the inertia and this, that, and the other. But, dude, we're literally revolving around something, and that means that the direction has to change at some point. And don't you think that we'd be able to, feel some of those forces here on the Earth? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me, man. And
kind of like what he was saying. What about a scenery change a little bit?
It'd be nice, man. Something. Stars, man. Or
there's a wobble.
I always love to hit them with because they say you can't feel the spin of the Earth because the motion is constant. So I just go up, pull up the definition of a circular pattern motion, and it says centrifugal force is created by a circular motion. Like, there you go. It's not to mention it's speeding up and slowing down going around the sun, supposedly. So all these are constantly changing, And a curved trajectory creates acceleration. It's in the definition. So you can't say that you wouldn't feel it. And their belief that like, oh, the whole atmosphere is spinning with us because gravity is holding on to these air particles and they're pulling the rest along, right? That's what they believe. Am I wrong in that?
No,
That's what
yeah,
it
and
is.
they say it's like you're on a train car, and like you know how you can throw something up in a train car and it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, that's
It's like,
real
dude, at
cool.
what point is the train car rotating?
Yeah, exactly.
To be honest,
So if air molecules are holding on to other air molecules and they're pulling them all along, wouldn't that cause friction? Wouldn't there be friction as each molecule nudged a little bit and pulled
Some
it
type of a
along?
drag,
Yeah,
right?
and doesn't friction create heat? We would all be burned up immediately. Just like the
Well, you know-
vacuum of space next to a pressurized atmosphere. It just
Oh Lord.
it doesn't make sense.
well, you know it's 1,000,000 degrees right outside the Earth's atmosphere.
No,
so-
it's not.
Flat Earth science, you guys.
I know. What? Isn't that an oxymoron? That's what they
That's what
try
they'll
to
tell
say.
you.
Flat Earth doesn't fit in science. Doesn't. So, besides flat Earth, what other things are you passionate about, or do you consider hoaxes upon the population or anything like that? Because I know you focus on flat Earth, but I want to know more about you.
Yo, that's a really good question, bro. Honestly, I'm into like a lot of like health and like organics, homeopathy,
Yes.
homeopathy, holistic health, naturopathy, and
Love
stuff
it.
like that.
That's where I
'Cause I
started.
think, yeah, I think that's really important too. Like, and again, it goes back into like, what the earth is. And I kind of talk about this all the time, how like, science is making a mistake, although we've made so many advances, they compartmentalize everything. So like they only focus on one thing at a time in order to explain parts of the globe. They don't have one unified theory of everything. Now they're looking for that, but they're gonna have to probably acknowledge some of these flat earth arguments in order to bring everything together as one working model. And the same thing goes for health. It's like you go and you get something, let's say if you have something wrong with your arm, they're only going to look at your arm. They're not going to say, okay, what's wrong with your body? What's the cause of this? They're only going to treat the effect. And, that's not curing anybody, right? So
Very
when I
true.
started looking into some of these things, I'm like, okay, the body is a system. The earth is a system. Like there's some type of intelligent design where we can like literally, well, shout out to you organics, y'all could literally self-heal, right? And it's just like knowing how to biohack the body and learning these different things that most of the doctors don't learn. They don't learn about too much of nutrition in school. They don't learn about natural remedies, learn about any of that stuff. And a lot of these things are like kind of prevalent and we don't know about it because they can't make that much money off of it. The only thing they could do is just raise the price on the healthy food and make the dollar menu meal affordable.
So true.
Yes,
Crazy,
man.
bro.
It's
Wow.
like, I mean, they come at it from the angle of that, it's not that it's something that's wrong with you. It's like, we're going to give you this pill because your body is deficient in modaxonil or
Dude,
whatever,
I will tell
you can't get a boner because you're deficient in whatever is in Viagra.
I'll
That is
tell you
why.
this. It's a personal.
Okay, Rufus.
It's a personal
okay.
story.
That's what
This
they
is
do.
safe-
Okay, bro.
This is the safe space.
It'll be all right.
Hang in there.
It'll all be okay. But so on that
Well, I'm
note
hanging.
about them putting pills down your throat. So my wife is one of the happiest people I've ever known. Like she doesn't let shit get to her. Blah blah blah. So she went to a doctor, a regular, just your regular practitioner, just to get her blood pressure checked and all that. And her blood pressure was slightly high, and it upset her because she has a family history of high blood pressure. So she was crying a little bit, and immediately the doctor was like, I want to put you on antidepressants. I'm like,
Whoa.
are you kidding me? You're the happiest person I know, and after 2 minutes they want to put you on antidepressants. Like, all they want to do is cram a pill down your throat for something. That's it, and that doesn't heal anything. Nothing.
There's a little feedback from Rufus, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, because that's how they make the money.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
They got to pay back their loans, all their student loans. They got to make their commission, and that's just how they're taught.
Yeah.
You know, there's some doctors that actually care, but a lot of them, you know, they just have a standard understanding of their practice, and they want to practice on you and see if it works until you to come back, and they'll practice some more
Yeah.
and see if it works. And they'll just keep on testing on you, you know, just like a little lab rat to make sure that you keep paying, them bills keep running up, keep getting distracted. And yes, it's all for your benefit, guys.
My cousin's wife is a nurse practitioner, and she has been for like 20 years, and she was one of the first people to tell me never go to a doctor. Just don't do it unless you absolutely have to. Like, now she's transferred and works in like administration for hospice, so that's a different thing. Like, when people are dying, you're just trying to help them. It's totally different. But before that, she ran like an ER and stuff, and she's like, if it's an emergency like trauma, doctors are great, you know, but health, if they don't ask you about your diet first, then don't even listen to them, because what you're putting into your body is way more important than anything else.
Right. And if you're feeding the bad stuff, you know, it's gonna resonate within your body, because it's gonna try to attack it.
Yep.
And you know, again, not all doctors are bad. You know, we're not saying that.
Oh no, for sure.
But yeah, we're just saying, like, you know, there again, there's a different way that these things can be approached. And it's all about the knowledge of applying it. Yeah.
Even the bad, quote unquote, doctors probably aren't bad people. They just believe what they were taught, and that's all they were taught. They weren't taught to focus on what you eat and how much time you spend outside and how much time you spend in front of computers and around electricity and this and that. Like, all of that matters. It all matters.
Where do you think you go when you die, Sacred?
Ooh, we talked about this in one space. What episode was that, Proud? Oh, and by the way, when I uploaded Proud to the ether, I gave her like 30 different career masteries. Like, she does everything, by the way.
Nice.
That's what's up.
So she want to jump on the mic and talk about all the
I was gonna ask both of you,
I think
but
we go to me. I think we connect to where I am in the ether once we die. I think that's where that simulation starts. And by the way, Ted, you said you believe in simulation theory. I believe you, and I also think that simulation theory is still a product of flat Earth, because, you know, all video games are built from Cartesian maps and Cartesian grid systems, so it's all flat either way.
But remember, we talked about the moon matrix. Remember, we did a space on that.
Like the moon extracts souls from Earth,
bro. Hey, go look at those. Hey, for y'all, go listening. Go look at those DreamWorks logos, and y'all tell me what they fishing for.
I know.
That's all I'm gonna say. Wow. Go look at them DreamWorks logos. That's all I'm gonna say.
With the soul lure system.
Hey, words mean things, man.
They do.
Well then, so you guys did a space on that. Do you remember which one, or probably
what number? Oh, you don't record them though, do you?
Yeah, but we do like attach content. So like, if you go to my tweets, or if I search my tweets, you can just put the episode and a number. We up to 70, so you can see all the different type of things we done talked about. But yeah, like, you know, you never know, and you know that's kind of why me and Pride was talking about this the other day. Why we go so hard with the topic, because we want to find the truth. Because if that is the case, and we are in some type of solar system, if we are getting trapped, that means we didn't learn something about this matrix that we were supposed to learn. Yep. So we want to learn as much of it as possible and understand it the best we can, in case there is some type of hex put on all of us to keep us trapped in the energy extracting system. So, you know, I think that's important, because everything is energy and frequency. Everything is to lower your vibe. The food, the medicine, the propaganda, everything is to lower the frequency, but they want you focused on gravity. Why? So I
Very,
want to make sure that I get out this thing when I want to and come back in when I need to answer Bill's question.
very nice.
It's amazing. That's
Right on.
couldn't be a better answer.
I know. It's like, okay.
So
So-
is there? Go ahead, Bill. Go ahead.
No, go for it.
Is there like? I mean, I know you say it all the time, but for people, I would assume everyone who listens to us goes to Flat Earth Fridays. If you don't, you need to. If you're listening and you haven't been, you need to go. But so, if you were gonna talk to a globe believer who is open-minded but just believes the globe, what's the first thing that you would come at them with or try to bring up to them?
So Proud came up with this idea for Flat Earth Fridays where whenever we have like a new Globe Earth speaker, we ask them, what they believe in and what their number one belief or proof or evidence of why they believe in that. Because it's, again, like everyone is starting on a journey, like in different places. So in order to have a conversation, I have to have, understanding of what your level of understanding is at. Whether you looked into this or not, or whether this is something that you're just questioning. So if you start talking to me about orbital mechanics, I know, okay, I could talk some physics with you. Or if you're just talking about, hey, how come boats go over a curve? Okay, it's like, all right, like we can start at some basics, so it really depends on where they're at. So we ask them and, then we have a conversation from there. And then normally they end up realizing that piece of evidence or idea. And some of them say, hey, it's just what I've been taught. And we appreciate that answer too, because that's just honest.
They're real bold in the mentions. They say it with their chest when they're hiding behind that keyboard.
Right.
When they grab the mic and you
So
press them
true.
on the same points that they bring up, they do a lot of walking back. And then,
Every
I'm
time.
just here to listen. I'm just here to learn. I don't know. Yeah, you don't.
Every time. They never keep the same energy. But that's okay, because people need to see that too. Because people could scroll down their timeline and see what type of time they was on. And then be like, wait a minute, when you was talking to the level heads, you didn't seem to be having all that energy. You wasn't talking all that wild stuff. So there's a little bit more respect there than what I thought. Maybe we should look into what the level heads is talking about. Let's see what Bill and Ted posted today. What did Proud retweet? What do Death and Rufus comment on? Let's see what's going on in this community of truthers or globe or science skeptics.
Yeah,
And that's the first step to the path.
That's
Right?
all we want you to do is look into it. I know the whole do your own research, people make fun of it, but that's literally how you figure out anything. Because you have to look at both sides and use your God-given discernment to figure out what's bullshit and what isn't. That's the only way to do it. I'm not going to convince somebody in a tweet. It's that simple. But I'm hoping that I think this is what we all hope, that we can spark something to make them look.
Yeah, we can only show you the door.
Yeah.
Plant the seed.
That's right. And what Ted just said about your God-given discernment, we're dealing with a lot of people that don't believe in a creator. Let's just get that.
I didn't either. I mean, I can't fault them for that. I grew up in a religious family and I didn't. But
So science is giving them all the explanations they need to explain everything. So they don't need to do the research. This is what they're thinking. We're the ones that need to do the research. We're the uneducated ones.
Yeah.
As they like to say, in
Stop
this
making
barrier.
excuses for your friends, bro.
Just because I'm from Alabama doesn't mean that you got to be throwing shade all the time.
It's cool, Dad. It's cool.
And
go for it.
Oh, I was just saying, and that's the thing with religion too. I mean, I don't know I think a lot of us were raised with religion, which is probably not the case. I think a lot of people have fallen out. But if religion hadn't been, perverted by so-called science, then, that maybe they would be teaching us some things that would be useful in the real world.
It's true. Jesus died on a globe, Rufus.
What?
Whoa.
Just on the facts.
Well, that's the thing, man. I mean,
Hey,
honestly,
Bill.
I'm a very spiritual person, but for a long time, religion is actually what drove me away from being spiritual and drove me to be, I mean, I wouldn't say I was an atheist, but more of an agnostic. And it was religion and just watching, you know, the corruption in the Catholic Church and, you know, a lot of things like that kind of drove me away and brought me away from God. And then, you know, the whole heliocentric model on top of it that, you know, growing up thinking that you're an insignificant speck of dust and how, you know, God couldn't have possibly just created this whole thing. And we're just, who knows, man.
Even if
I
you
don't even know where
can
I'm going with
believe,
this, but
if you can believe in God in the heliocentric model with the Big Bang, you have to believe that he's some distant God that created this gigantic universe and you're just part of it. And that's not
Yeah.
the case. It's not the case.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Would
for
you-
anyone listening, I mean, obviously, all of you guys have listened to all the episodes of the Phone Booth Pod, clearly. But if you're hearing about this for the first time, you know, flat Earth isn't just about like whether the Earth is flat or a globe. It's about the construct and, you know, the origins. Because I always say that science always starts from step 2. They can't talk about or explain what happened when things came to be. Only they're trying to explain how things are.
Yeah.
So it's about the construct of what we live in, which changes our whole, you know, reality and our purpose. So that's what flat Earth, quote unquote, is really about.
Can you tell everybody why we don't have a map? Because I get that question a lot. I don't know why. It's real weird.
Bill, when have you ever navigated with a globe?
That's like asking why bank robbers don't have the schematics to the bank beforehand. Like they want us to discover the truth. They want us to prove them wrong. It's like come on, people, think.
And they just act like because you don't have a map or 100% accurate map, obviously none of us are cartographers,
Yeah.
but they act like, you know, if you don't have a map, then the Earth's still a globe.
Yeah.
No, they
Just don't have the wherewithal to understand that those two are independent of each other, and you don't have to plan out the whole entire flat Earth model to be able to say to yourself that obviously the Earth is not what they told us it was.
they would act like if they had the map that they would know. It's like they don't know.
Like they could confirm it. Oh yeah, this checks out.
Well,
There's no
literally,
Every
one
single map is
that
flat.
answers
That's right.
everything for the globe model. There's not a single map that answers everything for the globe model. It's all broken
Bingo.
down. It's all compartmentalized for them themselves.
There's no map. There's no models. There's no
Thank you,
full-
Proud, because I was just gonna say that, and you know, it goes back to what Sager was saying. This is so much bigger than just what shape it is. You know,
I don't
and
give a shit about the shape.
right.
I don't
No.
care.
I'm open to, you know, being shown this down the road. You know what I mean? Like, but for right now, it's all about destroying the construct that we were put in, that we're a part of.
That's clearly a lie. That's what
Yeah.
we can't tell you everything that it is, but we can for sure tell you what it isn't.
Right.
Yes, that's the thing. The flat Earth, it's never going to have all the answers. But I'll tell you what, it's, you know, the globe, it doesn't have any of the answers.
No.
So, you know, people need to start to wake up and start to look at the logic and use their brains and understand, you know, I mean, for me, I'm a true earther, flat earther, whatever it is. I can't say 100% for what it is, but you know, we can tell you what it's not.
As far as we can see, it's flat. What's past that, we don't know because we can't go, and we're not gonna know until something changes. It's pretty
Right. You know, falsification is, you know, independent of replacement. So
Yeah.
I don't have to give you a replacement of anything if I'm, you know, disproving whatever's given to it as fact.
exactly.
So people are usually in that mindset, though. You know, these are people that believe in the glow, so they've been spoon-fed, you know, their whole life what to believe. And if you don't get it right, you're a bad person or you're a failure. We're gonna put an F on your paper.
Yeah.
So then when they come talk to, you know, you guys, or come talk to us on Level Heads and Flat Earth Fridays, they had that same mindset. Well, tell me what to think. And it's like, bro, I want you to learn how to think for yourself.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
if you're saying that this doesn't work on a flat earth, tell me why. Or if you're saying that this is a globe proof, tell me why it wouldn't work on a flat earth. And some people get stuck just with asking them that. And it's like, please just think it through all the way first. Because you have the capability to do that.
Yep.
That's the thing. We sub out our intellect. Well, we used to. I don't anymore. But even with germs, with all of that, which we'll get into in a few minutes. But so we
Yeah.
just assume that the people on the TV and in the coats and that have prestige know better than we do. So we just listen to them, and no one takes the time to think about it for themselves ever.
That's not by design.
No.
Not at all.
People are
Why
starting
would
to,
they
man.
do that?
So
People are starting to question those guys in the coats.
they
You know,
are. I mean, I think that COVID had a lot to do with that. So
Nah.
gave us a lot of time to do that
we're
too.
we're at an hour and 41 minutes, and I don't want to not get to do this. And if you in the end you tell us you want us to cut it out, I will. But I just need to know for me. I want to rapid fire a few things and ask you what you think about them. Like, because again, all I ever see you talk about is flat Earth. So I just want to know where you stand on other things. You know what I mean?
Okay, let's do it.
Cool.
Or both
Yeah.
of
And
you.
I
Right.
also,
Oh,
I feel
yes.
like we're taking for granted the fact I'm honored to be here with you, Sacred and Proud. I
Yeah.
look up to you guys a lot, and
Yes.
we should have had like a whole list of questions, but honestly, like those all get answered in Flat Earth Friday, and it's cool to like get to know people and what their background is too. So I totally support this part, but I do have just like one question after we can finish this segment from you guys, because there's like you guys have so much knowledge, and I feel like we could get a lot of information out of you guys. But let's go ahead with this.
No,
with
go
this,
ask that question first. We'll do this.
Okay,
after.
cool, guys. Yeah, I mean, I only had one question written down for you guys, and you may or may not have the answer, but mine was pertaining to like the stars, and the higher elevation you go, and you can't really see them when you get higher up. And do you think that has to do something with like, do we need the lens of the atmosphere to be able to see the stars? Or is it too bright, the sun too bright, and it blocks it all out? That's something that I'm curious about.
Well, I think it's a lot of, I guess you would say, attenuation, right? Although it does, get less dense the higher in elevation you go.
Yeah.
But you're saying that some stars you can't see?
Well, no, like when, say, like those videos where they send up the weather balloons and everything's flat, well, and just how like that, Ted and I did a little short about, the astronauts, can you see the stars from space?
Yeah.
Can you not see the stars from space? Well, when you get up that high, you can never see the stars. But at night, you can see the stars here. And I didn't know if it was some sort of magnification effect from the atmosphere down below that would allow you to kind of like a lens in your glasses.
Yeah, like to
or
clarify.
or a telescope so you could see the stars up high.
Yeah, from a
or
high
what it
mountain,
takes.
you see them really well. But from a weather balloon, once you get up higher, they kind of disappear.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that may just be due to like the camera settings, maybe potentially, because I feel like if they wanted to, they could probably capture the stars if they change like maybe the exposure, because that's probably what they would say.
They
like less Earth, more.
They
sky.
could
Probably.
since
But
the sun's there, so keeping the exposure down so that you can see the sun, because the sun would
Blow out the image, basically.
Yeah, it would blow
Right.
everything out.
Yeah, I always wonder because you see those videos and it's usually pointed towards the sun. I mean, some of them kind of rotate around a little bit,
Right.
but you don't get a lot of, viewing point where maybe they focus going straight up or focus on different angles. And maybe that's something that like, the Flat Earth scientist research team can work on at some point, once we
but
get the
NASA
funding that NASA has.
Right, but NASA don't even know. I think Proud tweeted this out. She did. Listen, Proud tweeted this out. She had like a tally of all these astronauts saying they've been in space and whether they seen stars or not. And what was it? Probably was like 3 of them said that they saw stars. Four of them said that there were no stars. They were going back and forth.
Like 6 and 6, they couldn't determine if they could see it or
Yes.
not. So it's like discrepancies with that. Like, can we see it or can we not? Like, does it matter the position we are in or that they're looking at? Like, I feel like it should be a unison answer.
Yeah.
Y'all the only ones who've been up there. Y'all shouldn't all be on different pages and different
Right.
accounts. Like,
Get your story straight. Yeah.
right? Like, we can't verify it. So what it is and what it ain't.
Yeah, at all that point, you know, I mean, I feel like it's all speculation, but I didn't know if you guys knew some sort of scientific background behind it, because you're obviously much smarter than any of us are.
One of you are smarter than all of us are put together. But that's
I'm
cool.
just
We're just here for
cyborg, bro.
entertainment.
You got all
man.
that programming. It's not a
Yo,
fair
you know,
competition.
you guys think I'm like level-headed or nice. You know, I say I'm only like this because I'm humble. If I had like a quarter of a fraction of physics knowledge that Sacred has, I'd be a menace to Flat Earth Fridays. Oh my gosh, it would be so bad.
Oh, I could see that.
Awesome.
Everybody has their strong points in this movement. You know, like I think that all of us coming together and using our abilities to the best that we can is really gonna, you know, take it to where it needs to go. And I'm not just saying all of us here, but everybody.
Yeah, everybody.
You know, I watched so many like conversations. I watched these guys just ripping these dudes. You know what I mean? Some are trolling the Globies, and then they'll throw out a little bit, and I'm like, oh, they know some stuff, but they're just trolling them. You know what I mean? Like and it's like it's really, really cool to see this just grow and grow, and it's truth. It just is. You can't stop this.
Yeah,
Can't
exactly.
stop
You know what I
it.
mean? Like, no matter how. That's why I tell all of it. Like, don't worry. You don't have to listen to me. It's coming,
Yeah.
whether you like it or not. Like,
I think
we're
our
just trying to prep you.
strengths are that we're regular people. I don't have a science degree. I'm a regular person who looked at it and
Yeah.
saw it. So when I explain it to people, I explain it like a regular person would explain it to them at a bar or over dinner or something.
Mhm.
So it's because even me sometimes, like I know almost all the stuff, but even when some people are explaining it, I'm like, this is even over my head. I know what you're saying, but it's too much science for some people. Not everybody. We need that for sure. Like you said, everybody has their part. But it's to me, that's all it is. It's just that I can talk to people on a regular dude level, and that's it.
Yeah, we actually just had shout out to Alan Space Artist. He came into Flat Earth Fridays last
So
Friday.
good.
That was
Bro,
so
he-
awesome.
Yo, this dude is crazy, man. Like it's almost like the flat earthers are evolving. Evolution
Yes.
confirmed. But no, bro, like the science is starting to become a lot more digestible from a lot of the people in the community, because we're actually doing the research, and that was like such a fire space. So shout out to him for pulling up, because he dropped a lot of gems.
Did
Yeah, he did.
It was awesome.
GG.
Ted rapid fire?
So I guess let's start with simple stuff. Mandela effect. where do you stand on that?
Oh, definitely a thing. That was actually probably one
Was
of
a
the things. Go ahead, Proud.
Was a cornucopia. Sorry, there was a cornucopia. In the
That's actually what got me to look at flat Earth, because I saw Mandela effect, and I was like, I can't reckon this in my head. There has to be something. And the same person who posted a Mandela effect video posted a flat Earth video, and I was like, I can't believe this dude if he believes the Earth is flat. Now I'm an idiot. So I went and watched that video, and that's literally the moment that changed my life. So Mandela effect technically is what got me into this. But I have a theory on that they're messing with the Akashic records, and that's what's happening. That they're trying to alter them, and it's happening for some people and not other people. I don't know. That's just
Like
my
different
theory.
timelines.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Timeline.
that's. I mean, yes, we're time travelers, so that's definitely possible.
Bro, Berenstain Bears was never ending with an A. It was
No,
never
I can definitely vouch for that. The cornucopia too. I don't know how that's just gone. There's a ton of them. Like, you can't tell me that I just remembered it wrong. And there's even like the residue, like about how, when people dress up as Tom Cruise from whatever fucking movie that was, they wear the sunglasses, but supposedly he
Business, yeah.
didn't. Like, why is the Halloween costume with sunglasses if he didn't wear it in the movie? why in Ace Ventura does he talk about the dude having the monocle if the Monopoly man never had the monocle? Like, there's all these things that
They
mimic
didn't
what
get
I
everything.
remember, and they're telling me it didn't happen. Come on.
Right.
So something.
I love
happened.
that the residue was left in there.
I
you
know.
I mean, we could do. I would love to do a Mandela episode.
Oh,
at
we
some
will. We
point.
gotta find
have to,
somebody
man.
That'd be so
For
fire.
me, dude,
Nice.
we got it. Maybe we should bring you guys back and do a Mandela episode.
If you guys decide
all
to do a
6 of
spaces on
us,
it,
dude.
if you do a space, I will even speak.
Yeah.
I will.
Oh,
I will
For real, we was
Oh,
thinking
for
about doing
sure.
some other topics.
Okay.
Yeah, we was talking
Yeah.
about it.
As long as I feel like that correlates along with the flat Earth belief. The one that I always remember though is the one that just like is. There's no way you're ever talking me out of it. Which there are multiple, and I agree with you, Proud, on the cornucopia. But from the 007 movie with Jaws, and the little
Braces.
girl with the braces.
Oh
Dude.
yeah.
I don't even know that one.
Oh, dude, it's the only way that this girl like befriended the main evil like antagonist in the movie, and the dude, his name was Jaws, and he had like
Okay,
metal
yeah, I know
teeth,
that,
sharp
yeah.
metal teeth. Well, the little girl in the movie befriended him, and is because she
Because she
related
had
to him because
braces.
she had braces and he had the nasty metal teeth. Well, now when you go back in that movie, that girl, I forgot what her name is, she never had braces, dude.
Come on, are you
Yeah.
serious?
Even when she smiles in the movie, like it was like the main scene in the movie, and he smiles at her, and then she smiles back at him, and it was supposed to be like their, connection moment.
Yeah.
She doesn't have braces,
That's
dude, and it
crazy.
makes no fucking sense
Yeah,
anymore.
it
It's
doesn't.
hilarious. It's like, dude, is this dude a pedophile or
Yeah.
what?
Why
Why
is
do
Oh,
these guys have
shit.
such a relationship? I don't
It's
get
either
it.
the biggest, greatest hoax ever. Like, I don't even know how they pulled it
You
off.
can't
Like,
hoax my memory though, dude.
I know,
Like,
I
how do
know.
you do
I-
that?
Oh, dude, the CIA
think
is sneaking in
frequencies, I'm
and changing
telling
those
you.
VHS tapes. I swear to God.
I think they can hoax your memory.
Oh yeah.
dude.
But I can't live in that world, all right, bro. I can't live in that world. You
The
do.
only
figure
way,
out
the
the
only
difference
way that
of
it's possible, dude, because the residue is there on the old VHS tapes, dude. Go if you still got a Blockbuster around you, go get the VHS tape.
There's
of
only one
007
left in the world.
Jaws, man.
I
And the
am
only way that I could ever like fathom and wrap my head around the fact that that this was just something that they did to psyop us is if there was something like in the VHS actual film that was set to like go off over a certain time or a certain frequency that would like erase.
I mean, they do work off magnetic, so I guess that's possible.
might be
But
on-
no,
You
you're
know,
just a
that's the
crazy
only way,
conspiracy
man.
theorist,
That
bro.
sounds crazy as fuck, Rufus.
Okay,
and,
so
and okay, so and honestly, for me being a flat earther, to think
They're
those are the
crazy.
kind of things that go through my brain because I live in a world of logic.
yeah,
Right.
So for me to be a flat earther, but then also think about like, well, maybe this is based in reality and it's not like a spiritual thing that's changing all these things. That's the kind of logic that goes through my brain. So it's not like I
too,
just
buddy.
like saw flat earth and was
That's-
like, oh yeah,
that's 'cause
like-
your brain's
that's something I
flat.
want to jump on board with.
all right. So
Well,
we
that's
can't
obvious.
get
I
into
can't believe
Mandela
you
too
believe
much.
in time travel, bro. It's all about space
It's
time
crazy.
curvature, bro.
So
Relativity.
Next, dinosaurs. Where do you stand on dinosaurs?
Oh my goodness, hell no, bro. Science says there's dinosaurs on the moon,
Yeah,
Oh,
bro.
we're gonna go get the
And
oil.
then they'll say you're crazy for believing that there may have been dragons,
I know.
but dinosaurs is real.
I actually talked about that with Dave Weiss. They think you're crazy to believe in dragons, but dinosaurs are totally cool. Totally cool.
Yeah,
The
no,
West is
and
the only one,
Fossil
right?
fuel did not come from dinosaur bones.
No, it does
Yes.
not.
That fossil fuel came from Rockefellers. That's where fossil fuel came from.
Yeah, that's
That
where it came
made
from.
up term. There's
Dude, this
old
fucking-
oil wells that have regenerated themselves, that they just sucked it out too quick. It's like, I don't know if you want to call it the Earth's blood. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's something that comes back after time.
Yeah.
It's just real quick to sidetrack. Actually, I guess I should ask you about climate change, but this will lead into that. Like, in my mind, to think that we have enough hubris to think that we can destroy something a creator made is absolutely ridiculous. A car and a plane isn't going to destroy the world that God. It might wipe us out. There might be some crazy
Yeah.
change that wiped us out, but I don't even believe in it anyway. But climate change.
Well, just real quick on a dinosaur
Oh,
thing.
yeah, sorry.
I forgot there's a guy, maybe Proud Kid, just do a quick search for me. Search up dinosaurs on my tweets, Proud, if you could, real quick. If not, it's okay. But there's a guy, he actually deals with the dinosaur bones when he excavates them, and he found like some type of like flesh on them still.
Mhm.
Like there was
What?
still some type of there was still some type of skin matter. I tweeted it out, and he was talking about how, if these are like billions of years old, there shouldn't be any like living matter, any type of
Right.
substance like that on these bones. And they say he was some type of a quack, but he
Oh,
still
of
puts out
course
this
they did.
information. So we don't even know, like, what bones these really are coming
Yeah.
from.
Bro, they got feathers, then they don't.
I
Like,
think
Right.
I think most of them are giant humans, and the Smithsonian actually used to admit that, and then they erased all the records, and they immediately, if anyone finds a quote unquote dinosaur bone, the Smithsonian sweeps in and collects them and says, "Oh, it's a dinosaur. Look, here's one chip, and this is a T-Rex." But
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
that's
And it
just
could
me.
be behind some type of giant or something. Who knows,
Who
man?
knows? Who
A lot of
knows?
things that could have happened in the past that they don't want you to know about.
I agree. That actually leads to the other one, Tartaria. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so we talked about this a lot in some of these conspiracy spaces. And it would be very easy to kind of like do a reset. We're just taking out like an entire generation and then, building something new where you're like hiding what they used to have as technology and what they used to do, on some of this, prior knowledge that we're kind of finding out now in these conversations. Like the type of technology that it seems like they were using and harnessing all this energy, like the type of buildings that they were building back then with the limited amount of technical tools that they had. Like I think they were still on like wooden wheels, and they had like
Horse
these
and
buildings.
buggy. Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. So I started looking into that, and that's a whole nother rabbit hole that people should look into.
Definitely.
Have you seen
all tied
the
in.
orphan train stuff and like the whole thing of the Cabbage Patch Kids and like the link to
Those
that?
those carnivals,
Yeah, the
Yeah.
incubators that come see a live baby in an incubator. Like
bro. Some weird stuff going on around
sounds
that
like
time.
repopulation to me. Like
Seriously.
Yeah, doesn't that have to do with the resets and how they repopulate
that's what I think.
afterwards?
I mean, I have no solid evidence of that, but
No,
it seems like it. I mean,
obviously.
who knows? These could have been people from the outer lands saying, "Hey, we'll help repopulate your area." It could have been anything. Who knows?
Exactly.
And it's kind of weird that I hear talk of World's Fairs coming back
Oh yeah, I just saw that the other day.
after a supposed reset. I don't know. Just saying. Just saying. Just throwing it out there. We'll dribble.
So what else we got? This
Oh, you said climate change.
climate change. Yep.
So I guess my question is, at what point are they starting the calculation from, and
Mhm.
who's making that decision? Because if you're starting from like a colder climate, then you're probably going to get a certain answer. If you're starting from a warmer climate along a time period, you're going to get a different answer. So when they're basing this climate change that fluctuates often, like, what are they basing it off of when, and who's deciding to make that decision?
Yeah, they love to show. I've posted a long time ago that they love to show the graph, but they show like 1/16 of the graph at the very end, where yes, right now it is spiking up slightly, and they like amplify it. But if you look at the whole graph, it's been way higher before, way higher. And even when they talk about millions of years ago, I personally don't believe millions of years even exist. I don't think anybody has been around or anything has been around for millions of years. I
Yeah,
can't
those are
tell
more
you.
presuppositions. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't tell you how long, but I don't think it was millions of years. I know carbon dating is bullshit. I know all of that's garbage. So they always get different answers. They've been asked to carbon date stuff, and they're like, "Oh, it's millions of years old," and it's like a chicken bone that from like recently. Like they've been fooled many times and been wrong. So I
Do you
can't
think
trust.
greenhouse gases could be a thing if there is a dome?
Hmm. I mean, I guess there's certainly some type of effect. Um, I just don't know, like like how it would work, right? Because
Right.
we don't know, like, if this is a system, it should be able to fix itself if there's anything wrong with it. I feel like that's how
Yes,
it's
I
designed, right?
believe there's got to be some sort of like purification system. I mean, one eruption from a volcano has got to be like so many more times, however much the humans can affect the greenhouse gases, And for me, I mean, I think that climate change deniers or man-made climate change denier, which I don't believe that man has anything to do with the climate changing, regardless of whether it's changing or not. I think they get a bad rap because I don't think that climate change deniers aren't saying that we can't do anything to help better the planet and protect the planet. I mean,
Chill with the
obviously we
hard T,
shouldn't
man.
be
The hard T.
we should not be littering,
Oh no, we shouldn't be
doing our best to
littering.
take care of things, man, but we got to live our lives, and we shouldn't have to upend everything
We shouldn't
to
be littering,
try and protect the planet.
littering, and we shouldn't be putting out pollution. But I
All
also
I know
don't
is
think cow farts are raising sea levels. So
the,
I mean,
No, it's
the
these
ice
same
caps
people that
been
are
melting all
lecturing
my
us.
life. The
What
ice
was that?
caps been melting all my life, and that ozone layer had a hole in
Right?
it all my life. And then I turned 16, and they just stopped talking about it. It
Yeah.
just was no longer
Yes,
relevant.
dude. It was hairspray at first.
Never
I
mind.
think was going to, and then it was carbon monoxide. Now it's carbon dioxide because that's basically the building blocks of life. Do you all remember when it was carbon monoxide? I
Mhm.
feel like
yeah.
that's a Mandela too because they pretend
They
like that
changed
was never anything.
Me personally,
Right.
what I think they're afraid of the CO2 levels rising and the nitrogen levels rising because back in the day, if you read the book of Enoch, before the giant trees were chopped down, things grew bigger with more CO2 and more nitrogen in the air.
Dude,
And
that's a great theory. Sorry to interrupt, but if you notice, like people are starting to get taller and taller. Like even when they don't have the genetics, like my kids don't have necessarily the genetics to be big, but they keep on growing bigger
Oh,
and
that
bigger.
yes, I can vouch for that.
And
My
that could
daughter's
have to do
huge,
something
bro.
to do with the CO2.
yeah, that's part of what I think is the reason that they're all we need to stop this from happening is it's probably a natural cycle. And as levels rise, plants start getting bigger, animals start getting bigger. That's just what happens. There used to be giant animals bigger than they are now. That's proven. I'm not talking about dinosaurs. I'm talking about regular animals we know that were just bigger. So maybe there were bigger lizards. They're just not dinosaurs. There's no T-Rex. There's no T-Rex. There's no Stegosaurus.
no.
They didn't
Yeah, you see the
exist.
teenagers these days, man. You're
How,
like, what the hell is going on,
bro?
man?
Not to be weird, bro. Not to be weird, but how would two T-Rexes mate?
I know. It's so funny.
Just think about it, just for a second. Don't think about it for too long.
That's the kind of stuff
How
you
would
think
two
about in your free
T-Rexes
time,
mate,
Sacred.
bro? What?
A
How?
lot of Barry White. That's all. That's all I
Docking.
can
It's
say.
Fair
doc
answer.
docking.
Oh God, it's horrible, horrible. So what else? I don't even know if I want to ask this one, but
Oh, but so real quick.
oh
So
yeah,
what would be what's their solution then? So is their solution to spray the sky to block out the sun to keep
There-
things from heating up? That's what's
I
up.
like how they try to deny that, and there's literally government papers you can read where they talk about doing it. There's I'll post it later. It's geoengineering.org or something. This dude has mapped out all the cloud seeding sites, all the HARP sites, all of this. Things where they're talking about focusing HARP antennas in the atmosphere to turn this into diamond dust and all. They're doing it. It's not a conspiracy theory. They believe something's happening. They're trying to change something. They definitely spray shit in the atmosphere to try to block out the sun. And I personally think it's because a change is coming. Think about when we were little, at least me, I remember the sun always being yellow. They drew it as yellow. It was yellow.
Bro, dead serious. Please keep talking. Yes. I've
Now,
always said this.
yeah, now you look at the sun and it looks more white. It doesn't look
Yes,
yellow
bro.
anymore. There's some change coming and they don't want us to see it and they're trying to block it out. I mean, I also think that spraying a bunch of metal particles in the air helps them with their lie about satellites. It helps them send signals further and bounce them, so it makes it look like they have satellites up there, which we know are balloons and shit, but that's besides the point. But yes, I think they're trying to hide something, in my personal opinion. What do you think?
So Proud sent me this lady that she got this YouTube. I forgot the name of the YouTube, but she shows that these weather cams have this object in
Final
the sky.
days.
Yeah. This YouTube channel, Final Days. She got like a bunch of different like weather cams that she had pulled, and there's like she changed the contrast, and there's like something like floating in the sky, and she's been capturing. I tweeted about it back in, I think it was like August. I think I tweeted about it, but she's been doing that, like dropping this type of stuff for like over a year, and we thought something had happened to her because we ain't hear from her for a while. But if they're using this as an excuse to block what may be in the sky, because right, they may know exactly what's going on. Like, in order to create this ball Earth, idea, you would have to know the truth in order to execute, even though it falls apart, because obviously a lie can't hold no water, right?
Yeah,
that's
Water
right.
that's contained, by the way. Anyway, but yeah, it's just like, I don't know. People should think about this.
Yeah, maybe they have multiple purposes, because it's obvious that there are frequency patterns going through the clouds too. And I don't know if that's some sort of medium that they need to pass those frequencies through, or it's just kind of some sort of latent consequence that you can see the patterns in there, but they're definitely there.
Yep. I've seen them with my own eyes. I believe it. So, the next one I was going to say, I don't even know if I want to ask this, but I guess it doesn't matter, but what do you think about Q? About the Q thing?
Now that's interesting.
I don't want to get into full politics. I don't care where you stand on the aisle. I just mean specifically about that.
So I've seen things that seem to align with some predictions, and I've seen things that kind of didn't. But then again, I don't really know exactly what that's about, because it could be two options in my opinion. It either could be something that is for the people, or some type of a side to control the minds, to distract away from some other things, and give hope and let down, some type of more of an emotional extraction, energy extraction again.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
That's a
Yeah,
good
that's what I
one.
think.
That's a
it
good one.
could be, right? So it's like, I think that it's important to pay attention. I don't think anybody should just ignore it, but I don't
No,
think people
it's
should be
something.
married to it,
Yeah.
like, emotionally, or put all their eggs in that one basket, because at the end of the day, you still gonna have to save yourself. You can't really be relying on somebody else to save you. We got to do this on our own at the very least. That's the last. If Q fall out, then what?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do it by ourselves anyway. So we might as well keep thinking, like, in that mindset, like, hey, maybe this is something that's gonna help us, but at the end of the day, it's up to us in order to not be manipulated and
Great
taken
take,
advantage of.
dude.
Yeah.
Great
Right.
take,
Great. It gave us the opportunity,
as always.
and then it's on us to take it to the next step. I like that.
Right, because they're exposing some stuff, like, we're not
for
gonna
sure.
act
Mm-hmm.
and if it is coded, like, you gotta still have the eyes to see what they really saying. So,
That's right.
Right.
And a reference for what he was saying about emotional damage on the population, for people who don't know. A perfect example is wheeling out a TV in every classroom before the Challenger blew up. It was the first time they had ever made every kid in every school watch a rocket launch. And it happened to blow up with a teacher on it, the first time a teacher was on it. So whether you believe people died or not, which I personally don't, that's the emotional trauma of a population. They made everyone watch something horrible that they knew was going to happen.
I feel like that rolling out of the TV is like some sort of ritual too. I always wonder if they still do that. Do you think they still roll the TV out?
I don't know.
Like
Y'all
a
got
flat
kids. I
screen,
don't,
man.
you know? They don't have to roll it out anymore. It's just there, just mounted on the wall.
There on the wall.
Bro, they said that
Just constantly playing.
they said that none of those people on the Challenger had any family there when the takeoff happened.
Yeah, and there's people that have been seen that they have to be their twin. They have to be, or they're the same person, but none of these people were at their funerals. Your twin brother didn't go to your funeral, your twin sister, whatever it is, and you all happen to have people who look exactly like you, who work for universities. There's something up there.
Is their twin, but then yet they name them the same name? Like, does anyone know twins that have the same name? That'd be pretty confusing.
Dude, at what point do you Globies like? Come on, man.
Hey, some don't know though. Some didn't know that they're. Then when they put side by side pictures, they're similar, or they got the same names, or
even the same dimples and stuff. Man, it's
and
like
none of them mention the fact that they're their twin either. It's like it's something made up by these Globies to justify the fact that none of it makes sense.
Yeah, and we're just asking questions, guys. That's all we're saying. It's like, these things are odd.
Yeah.
And the worst thing about it is that they did that. You know what I mean? So just
letting you guys know right now, we don't have no cousins. We know all our cousins, and we don't have no twins. If we go missing, don't trust nothing.
At what point do you guys question? That's all I gotta know. You know what I mean? Like, how do you instantly just write it off? Like, you could see it. You know what I mean? Like Joe Biden scratching his neck and it's staying there. You know what I mean? Like, it's like.
Yeah, that was my next one. So,
you know
how do you feel about people in public being fake, wearing masks, hiding? Proud, you answer something too. Come on.
Where you at, Proud?
What happened?
I said, how do you feel? I'm just asking him some crazy questions about conspiracies that we may or may not believe. But how do you feel about public figures wearing masks? Like how Fetterman looks completely different. Biden clearly looks different. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I would love to believe that they have clones and that they've mastered the art of a dumb clone where it's just a vessel without the consciousness and they are inputting direction into it. But I do think Biden has dementia. I think they put him up there right before he went out, and now they're just coaching him one step at a time, letting him talk to the people behind him that don't exist. Like, they know he's a clone. They know he's out on his last brain cell. The other ones who wear the masks, like, some of that could be part of the satanic ritual of what they have to do. Like, sometimes they have to do something in front of our face to show us, like, hey, we kind of said something about it. We may not have said it in so many words, but you see me with this mask on. You see this Freemason logo in the cut. You can't say I didn't say.
He's throwing his hand sign.
Yeah, exactly. How did you not see it? It's not our fault. We showed you. I feel like NASA does a lot of that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, we showed you. So nukes. How do you feel about nukes? Real or fake? Or have you ever looked into it?
If you watch a nuke content video or like a mushroom cloud video right now with new eyes, I can't unsee it. Looks like what it would look like if something was hitting the firmament and bouncing back. All the smoke that comes back, it looks exactly like it bounced off the firmament, and I can't unsee it.
Especially in Project Dominic, where they literally were firing them at the firmament and they admitted to it, and you can see it. But also, I'm going to have to repost it now that I have this new account. Luckily, because I am not good with words, I used to build my threads in notes on my phone, so they're all still saved there. So I'm going to redo a thread I did on nukes, and if you can get through it and still think nukes exist, hats off to you, because I can't. Like, there's literally pictures of government stacking dynamite at the site. There's the video where you can totally tell it's miniatures, where a car appears that wasn't there a second ago. Not to mention, how are these cameras staying steady while everything buildings are being destroyed, but that tripod, it held.
Yes.
You know, like, or
Science, bro.
nukes blowing up, and you see this cloud puffing out, but you see clouds in the sky that aren't moving. How is that possible? It's not possible. If a nuke was blowing up and pushing out a mushroom cloud, it would definitely push moisture in the air away, and you would see it. But it doesn't happen. But anyway, so yeah, that's.
I know we're well over 2 hours, and we should probably
We
wrap it up.
chilling, man. Come on now. Like Flat Earth Fridays go like what, 12?
Yeah, I know.
It's nothing. We chilling.
We're right at 2 hours, just a tiny bit over, and a lot of this
So no, I was
recording
actually
is like
go
20
ahead.
minutes of
No, I
before
was
we
just gonna
started
say
rolling. So.
I totally forgot my question, so it doesn't even matter. I just
Yeah,
wanted to get
yeah.
it out before we ended. But
So is there any other? I'm trying to think. Any other conspiracy theories that any of you want to ask him about, or any that you think?
oh yes, okay, I remember.
there
I
you
remember. Back to NASA. What do you think these guys are seeing in their telescopes flying by the moon? If it's not the ISS.
So this is interesting because we kind of talked about this on some of the different technology that they're using.
Mhm.
And seemingly what they may have are these certain type of lasers where they can make objects appear in three-dimensional space. Now, this is just an idea. I'm not saying that that's what they're doing, but what I'm saying is they're using this technology in the military in order to fake fleets. It'll pop up on radars. It'll look like a physical object. It works in front of light. And you're kind of starting to see some of these things that they're kind of putting out to the public with these like light shows, and you're starting to kind of see like the
Whales
program.
in the sky and shit.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
they're giving it to you on an entertainment level,
Mhm.
but they've been showing you something that they probably could just point in the sky. So I'm just saying, like, who knows? All I know, it defies all of physics, and we talk about this all the time. But yeah, that's what I think.
Okay.
95% of content NASA puts out is computer edited image stacked on top of CGI. Like I couldn't believe none of that. I definitely, now we all can honestly say that we know Satelloons exist because China lost a rogue balloon. So definitely we know for a fact that it's right in front of us.
Right.
Yeah, now part of me believes that was part of a waking up process because they showed it everywhere. Why did they let it out if it was really a thing? Like, I think they wanted people to see what satellites really are. Possibly. Again, I think they have to tell you the truth. It's some sort of a karmic relief for them. Like, oh, we showed you, so it's not on us. That's on you.
Yeah, I mean, they can get all the data that they need with regular satellites on balloons. They can map out the whole entire Earth. They can stitch it together. They can do whatever they need 120,000 feet up. They don't need to put these things.
I get so mad sometimes because the other day I was listening to Sam Tripoli's podcast, and there was a dude on, and I agree with everything he said. He was talking about weather modification, and I agree with all that. But he was trying to say, like, one thing I can tell you, because I've listened to your other things, is the Earth is not flat. And he brings up the Himawari as 100% proof. Now, I don't know if you've looked into that at all, but the Japanese Himawari satellite that supposedly takes a picture, he said every 10 seconds, but it's not. It's every 10 minutes. And the reason it's every 10 minutes is because that's how long it takes them to CGI and snip it together. And I'm not just saying this. Somebody went on the Himawari site and found an open back door. No one hacked it. FBI, don't come after anybody. No one hacked it. It was open. You're bad. So, and they found where, so they have the images of the satellite of weather. So they have all the cloud pattern, right? And then they have another image, a separate image of the globe. And then they have a separate image of the wind. And they put it all together. And then they have this separate thing of the termination line where now it blocks over half the clouds on the globe, right? But they have the image of the clouds on the rest of the globe. So they're superimposing this fake termination line over it before they're putting it out. Because if the sun isn't shining there like they say, how do they have a picture of the clouds? How do they have the full picture? It's because they're getting it from Satelloons that are just really high. That's all it is.
Right. I remember, I think I saw that video. There's a video, right? It was like a few years back.
Yeah, it was. Well, Jeranism went through and broke it down and showed everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
dismantled it. Yeah.
Have you ever tried to get any of them? I mean, I don't know how you feel about them. Some people, oh, like, I don't even know. I mean, I guess I'm so out of the loop in the flat Earth community. Like, I hear people talking shit on Mark Sargent, and I'm like, why? I don't know what happened. I don't, why all of a sudden do people hate him? But like, have you ever tried to get any of those people to come on Flat Earth Fridays?
Jaren actually popped through one time,
nice.
one evening. Yeah,
Nice.
he slid it through one time. And there's a lot of different spaces though to talk to, some of these people. In the flat earth community, there's like Discord, there's Telegram, there's
That's
some
true.
other
That's true.
platforms. So some people are more, akin to certain platform than others.
Yeah, but none of that's
But
Flat Earth Fridays, man. Come
it's
on.
never gonna be the same.
Nothing's
man.
like Flat Earth Fridays.
But you know what I did notice that there is somewhat of a divide in the community, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And it's very apparent, and I wish it wasn't like that because there's already too much that people who speak about this have to deal with on a regular basis. I don't really think that we should be attacking each other just because we don't agree on what this construct is. I think eventually we all are gonna have to come to an agreement, but I think in the process it's beautiful to bounce these ideas off of each other. I just don't know why we got to attack each other in the process. So if y'all, listening, try to aim your shots at the ones who deserve it.
Yeah.
While we trying to have the conversation of figuring out the truth, please. That's my request.
I will honestly say personally, there's shit, and I can't tell you who it is or anything specifically, but there's times I see people who I know have it right on Flat Earth, and they post something that I know in my heart is wrong. I still don't go after them for it because I'm like, they got the Flat Earth part right. I'm gonna let that slide. I'm not gonna get in on that. So I'm very forgiving when I know that someone has the big part of the picture right and maybe some of the little other things are off, but that's okay because maybe I'm wrong on some little things. So as long as we can all agree that the world is not a globe and that they are lying to us about the truth, all the rest is little stuff in my mind.
Right. And that's what we talk about, how we say in level heads, like it's just people who are just honest.
Yeah.
If you're able to be honest about what the conversation is and certain critiques that we're making and certain points that we're highlighting or certain observations that we're making, if you're not dismissing it and if you're honestly having a conversation, like you're a level head for real. But it's the dishonest part is the people that are attached to it.
Absolutely.
Their way or the highway types.
Right.
Which is constant. But you seem to find the more level-headed ones for sure.
Pun intended.
Yeah, we out here, man.
Sure.
So is there anything else that you want to get out to people? Anything you want people to know? More people listen to you on Flat Earth Fridays than will probably hear this, but maybe some different people. So
Yeah, no, I just want to appreciate you guys for having us. We do Flat Earth Fridays, Twitter Spaces, X Spaces, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
You got to come see us and have a good time, learn something. You might catch Bill and Ted in there with Rufus and Def. You might catch some scientists. You might catch some friends in there. You never know because, it's the place to be on Friday if you want to have a little bit of fun and learn something. And me and Proud was talking about this. It's like, you guys are so impactful on Twitter. Like you guys just embody the Bill and Ted. Like we don't even see like Keanu or anything like that. It's like you are the guys.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just so funny. You guys definitely pick that.
Thank you. And I think it's been an absolute pleasure having you guys on. I think it's a pleasure being in your spaces.
yes.
It's so refreshing, dude, to have like such an eclectic group to be a part of, you know what I mean? And it was so hard to find that at first, and we were almost not gonna do it, you know what I mean? But it all led us here. So that's what's up, man. Thank you guys so much, both of you.
And also, I'll say thank you for still coming on even after I lost all my followers, because there's literally some people who planned to before who aren't so sure about it now. So,
wait. You lost all your followers? Cancel. Delete this. No clout? Oh, this is for nothing.
Wasted 2 hours of my life.
Damn it.
That's awesome. So yeah, is there anything anybody else, Death, Bill, you want to ask them?
Nope.
No, we're good, man.
I mean,
I'm
there's a
excited to
million
get it
things
out.
we could get into. I'm sure.
Yeah, it's
I
gonna
hear
be
people
fun, man.
hear
I
it.
hope you guys enjoyed all the listeners in here. Comment down below what you guys thought. Trash us, have fun with us, laugh with us. Tune in to the next episode too, because you never know who's gonna be on.
Yes, please turn into Flat Earth Fridays every week. We will be there as much as we can. Also, go ahead, Proud.
I gotta make this disclaimer so everyone knows and like everyone really takes a second to take this in. Like these are the prime pivotal moments, because if you guys didn't realize, this is Eric Dubé 2.0 in our presence.
Oh
like
my
we are
God.
in the presence of greatness. It doesn't get no better than this. This is the new generation of
Gang,
Flat
gang,
Earth. Like,
gang.
we will take over. So just thinking back, when you see us in the future as the next faces of Flat Earth, the next cyborgs of Flat Earth, like I really want everybody to remember the moments where we sat in StreamYard and we talked with Sacred and Proud. Like those are the moments that I think the future will come, and it'll come full circle and it'll be like amazing. So for those who don't know, who take this for granted, like just know, yo, we won't have him forever. Let's just put it that way. He won't be with us forever.
So good.
The
I
thing
love it.
is,
We all need us
Goodness
some
forever.
Sacred.
shout out to the level heads, man. Couldn't do it without y'all, for real.
Facts. OGs in here, the
everybody.
OGs that's been pulling up. Like,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's honestly an
Y'all
awesome
show so
group of
much love.
people. Awesome group of people.
And soldiers. Can we just say that? Like,
Dude, I go to sleep sometimes
that's what I'm
and
saying.
see an argument and wake back up and it's still going
Still
on.
going.
I'm like,
3-4 days straight. Like, damn.
All the smoke, man. We don't block nobody. They know where we at every week. So, and they usually take a day off on Fridays for some reason. But we listen to Saturday through Thursday, and we pull up right again, waiting for you guys to pull up. So, it's a safe space, but keep that same energy. Remember that.
Yep.
Love it. I can't wait till the next one, man.
I love how Proud says it. Say it with your chest when you come on Spaces. 'Cause
Yeah.
you do it in the comments, so do it when you come on Spaces.
yo, that's why we don't block them. We do not block them. Yo, we go back and forth with CERN, Astro, credentialed physicists. Yo,
You think we
these
scared
glow
of y'all?
zealots that read a textbook 15 years ago don't hold no weight to the conversation. So I say don't block them. Like they're all cowards who run. Their favorite word, coward, snowflakes, ball flakes. Like they don't show
Enjoy
up.
the
Don't block 'em.
engagement.
Enjoy it. So I
I
guess
love it.
we've taken up enough of your guys' time. Hopefully we'll have you back one day. We'll talk about Mandela. We'll talk about whatever. Anytime you guys want, there is an open invitation. Just message me and you're welcome. We'll cancel somebody else to have you if we have to.
Uploading, processing. Confirm.
That's
My
okay.
God.
Thank you guys so
Yep,
much.
We
man.
had an awesome time. So this is where we always say, Death, fade it out.
Thanks, guys.
Oh,
Thank
Rufus.
you.
Death, thanks for joining us. Sacred and Proud, thank you so much for being here. It means so much to us. You don't even know.
Appreciate it, man. This was so fun,
Of
bro.
course, it was great.
This is dope.
Definitely
Get
do it
on
again
Twitter.
sometime.
Get on Flat Earth Fridays.
Do it.
I know.